Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another live stream for you guys. Today, I'm with my buddy Tyler, aka Mind of a Nerd podcast. Go ahead and check out his content. I will be leaving the links to his content. Go ahead and check him out on Instagram. He has really good reviews on Instagram. He's been popping out a couple videos on his YouTube channel as well. I'll be putting the links in the description to go check him out. Tyler, what are we talking about today? You guys see the title. What are we talking about? We're talking about Cobra Kai,
baby.
Season 1 through 4. Tyler has been getting me to watch this show for the longest, bro. And I say it right here. Before you start talking, I'm going to bow to you because you were right, sir. This show is fucking awesome. This show is fantastic. Oh my goodness gracious. Tyler, you had brought joy into my life once again. This show is fucking awesome, bro. It is, though. It is.
Yeah, man. Cobra Kai. I kind of got into it the same way Alex did, only one season before. So when season 3 was coming out, I saw season 3 was coming out, and I knew it was the craze. It was Cobra Kai. So I had never seen the Karate Kid up to that point. So I watched the first Karate Kid. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother with the sequels. I watched the first one. I loved the first one, and I was like, all right, let's do Cobra Kai. I binge watched the first 2 seasons within like a day. And I was like, all right, let's go. And then season 3 came out. I binge watched that in a day. And I basically did the same thing when season 4 came out. I binge watched seasons 1 and 2 basically in one day. And then season 3 I watched the next day. And season 4, it was great. It was a great season. And I unfortunately was sick when season 4 came out. Mm-hmm. And even this show made me so happy when I was sick on my deathbed. I was when the finale came and the things that happened in the finale happened. I was literally sick and I literally jumped out of my bed and started screaming, bro. Because that's how amazing the finale to this season was. Yeah. And it was just incredible. I love this show so much.
So clearly, like I said, Tyler's the one that told me I need to watch these movies. And I don't know if John is watching, but we're trying to get John to watch it. But he's in the same boat. He wanted to watch the movies first. And that was my goal. So I had to go ahead and get it. So I picked up the set, the Karate Kid set. And I'm going to watch the movies first before I watch the show because I want to literally get in this world to lead into Cobra Kai. So I watched the first one. I watched the first one twice, actually. I wanted to see how the 4K quality looked. And then I watched in my basement just on regular Blu-ray. And both transfers, they're not that much of an upgrade. The first one's fine. I think it's the best looking. No, 2 is the best one. 2 is the best looking 4K out of all 3, in my opinion. And yeah, I watched it and it was like 12 o'clock at midnight. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the first episode. And the first episode turned to the first 3 episodes. And then in that case, I binged the first season and pulled an all-nighter to watch season 1 and season 2 of Cobra Kai, bro.
I did the same thing when this was when I was doing online school. There was a point during online school where I could not sleep. It was hard for me to get to sleep during the night, so I'd stay up watching movies and stuff, whatever. So when I started doing Cobra Kai, I watched through the entire night, the first season, and basically that's how it starts. I guess the key to watching the show is pulling all-nighters for the whole show.
Yeah, you said to me like it's probably one of the easiest shows to binge. It is because the shows are not the episodes are not that long. I think the shortest I've seen episode was like 23 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I think the longest was about the season for 44 minutes was I think the season finale for the season finale for season 4. But I figured it was gonna be a lot of stuff happening in this episode. That's why it was so long. I didn't see how long the season finales for season 3 or season 2. I didn't see how long they were. But man, yo, I love this show. The acting is pretty great. The returning cast feel like they are the cast. They're back. They feel like they've always played these characters. Even though it's been like 30 years since the first movie, you still feel like these people still exist. And it's great, man. I can't even think of the actor who played Johnny Lawrence, but him being the main character of this show, because technically he is the main character. It's not Daniel's show. This is about Johnny Lawrence and him trying to find a way to exist in a world where he does not exist. Like his format, the way he lives his life, the way he portrays himself is not how you live in whatever years, 2018. I don't know when exactly this show supposed to take place, but in this generation, he's an anomaly, and he finds a way to put his stamp and basically bring back Cobra Kai, because a kid named Miguel is in the same boat like Daniel. He's getting bullied, and I forgot what was the thing that really made him start the dojo. And it like one day he just like got caught up. If something happened to him, he was like, "Man, you ready to learn karate?" And I love that moment because Miguel's like, "You going to be my karate teacher?" He says, "No, I'm going to be your sensei." I'm like, "Let's fucking go!" This show has a lot of those moments, like those "let's get it, let's go" moments. Like, this show has a lot of those moments, and I love every single moment of them. This show does have the typical teenage angst bullshit, though. Probably some of my major flaws, but they're teenagers, they're kids. It makes sense why some of these things are happening. But it does get a little predictable in those moments, which I did call. Like so far, like I knew, like you clearly knew that Miguel was gonna get with Sam. Like you saw that happening a mile away, even when they first started even looking at each other. And then I'm jumping all over the place, but like when season 2 starts, then Tori gets introduced. Like, okay, like another love interest. Here we go. Like all this is pretty predictable, but it helps that the writing is so spot on, and these people that are writing and making the show cares about this franchise. Like they really do care about the lore and the characters and the callbacks to the original.
Yeah. You know, it's not a franchise. Like when you think of something like this, you know, when you look at the popularity of Cobra Kai now, you say to yourself, man, it's kind of shocking that they didn't do like a legacy sequel as a movie.
Exactly.
You know, and this is probably coincidentally the perfect legacy sequel.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I love The Force Awakens as much as the next person, but this is a show that it doesn't really rehash anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not when it comes to rehash. It's callbacks, because we get a lot of moments. I know, like I said, I know we're jumping all over the place. We're gonna get now to certain plot elements for each season, but going back to season 1, there's a lot of moments that's taken from the original Karate Kid, but it's flipped on its side. So, like, basically, Miguel is the Daniel character of Cobra Kai. He's the one that is bullied. He wants to learn karate because basically he's tired of getting his ass kicked. He's a new kid as well. Like he's new to the valley, and he's getting picked on, so he wants to learn karate. And another moment that feels like it's a callback was their first date. Like they literally do a callback to the original with the music and the montage of them having fun and all that stuff. It's like, okay, that's from the original Karate Kid. It's just that it's funny because it's Daniel's daughter. So it's like, okay, that's pretty funny. Which I did love. Like I love that we get involved with these characters and their kids. Like they have kids of their own and they're becoming their own, you know, their own thing. You know, it's great, man. I said to my dad, because I said he should watch it, I said, this is how you do a sequel and it works. Like, and they did it perfectly with making Johnny the main character, because they could have easily made Daniel the main character, like make it about him and what he's dealing with. But I think the reason why they made Johnny the main character because his life is fucked up. Like he's an asshole at the end of the day. He's a low life. He doesn't take care of his kid. He's doing these random jobs and stuff, and he's broke at the end of the day. You know, so he's a fuck up. So. It's more interesting to see that than to see Daniel's side. Daniel's the one that got dealerships. He got money. He has the nice daughter, son, wife, family, and all that. He got the nice house. He got the nice cars and all that, which I liked because technically he was the poor guy in Karate Kid. So that's flipped again. Like Johnny is now the one that's not privileged, and Daniel is. So I did like that.
Yeah, man. This show is very careful about its writing, and I know people don't really like one or the other. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't like Johnny" or whatever, which I don't know how that's possible. Or they'll be like, "Oh, I don't like Daniel," which makes sense because at a point in this show, in season 2 and kind of going into 3, I was like, "Bro, I'm Cobra Kai all the way, bro. Y'all motherfuckers are so annoying, bro."
Talking about
Like,
Miyagi though.
yeah, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, you guys are so annoying. And also, all my favorite characters were in Cobra Kai. Like, I
Yeah,
love Miguel.
that's the thing though, is when the characters that you love are on the because at the end of the day, the reason why Daniel don't like Cobra Kai because of what he dealt with as a teenager when he got there. That's why he doesn't like Cobra Kai, the name, and Johnny Lawrence because he was the main pupil. I mean, there's a scene where we find out Cobra Kai is banned from the All Valley, and Daniel was there literally trying to not allow him to be there because of what happened to him. And it's like this show is about that, like letting go of grudges. And this show is all about the grudges. Like when it comes to grudges, this show is on it about everything. Every character has a grudge throughout this entire series. And it makes it like it does get eye rolling, especially when we get to season 4. It's still eye rolling to a point. It's like, bro, we've been dealing with this for so long. It's like it's about time for you guys to get over your shit and just not work together or just like be out of each other's lives, because you guys being together isn't helping if you guys are going to keep holding grudges or have a agenda against one another because of something that happened in high school. Like that's the thing. It act like this happened over and over and over again, and it was just the tournament, and after that they never saw each other again.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I was Cobra Kai for a while because Miguel was there, Hawk was there. Hawk is a great character. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I know people don't like him in season 3. I don't care, bro. I liked Hawk in season 3 too.
Not even that. Even like going into season 2, he does get a little over the top a little bit because he's an asshole to his best friend. Like I understand that he became this badass and he kicks ass. He's a badass, and his best friend is not. It's like, but that don't mean it gives you the right to become the bully now. I was getting pissed when they were at the party. He was just being such an asshole to him. Like, bro, this is the guy that was with you before you was a cool guy, bro. Like,
but I do like that kind of comes full circle in the finale though. When
come on,
season 4 in general.
Yeah.
When they strip him of everything that made him so badass, and he's just back to basics, and he has to prove himself. That's why when in the finale, when it's kind of hilarious when Miguel hurts himself, I was destroyed when that happened
in season 4.
Yeah, when that happens, my heart shattered. But at the same time, the other thought that quickly crawled up in my head was, wait, so Hawk is advancing, right? So that means he's about to get the biggest character redemption of all time.
Yeah.
And when they're like, all right, it's sudden death, and they took off the geese, I said, oh my God.
Bruh.
I was losing my shit, bro. My fucking nose was full of mucus and everything, and I'm sitting here like, let's go, bro. I was going crazy watching this shit, bro. And when he finally won, I was like, yes! I was like, yes! Bro,
and on top of that, he gets the girl back. Like he gets his girlfriend, he gets Moon back. At the end, it's like, okay, he's still a badass. He feel like he's back to his insecure self, but he's still a badass, and he basically wins at the end, by being himself, which is the point of this show. Like because you want to be a badass, that doesn't stop you from not being yourself, which it happens with a lot of characters like Miguel. Miguel was this sweet kid, and then he started doing karate, and then he became like kind of an asshole at the end. Like I didn't want them to do. I think we talked about. I didn't want him. I don't know. I watched somebody, but I didn't want him to like go fully dark. Like I didn't want him to be like having an Anakin Skywalker moment where he's like
that in season 2.
Yeah, it's like I didn't want that, but I don't know. Obviously, we'll talk about it when we get to that. I want to stick to straight to season one, and then we'll talk about season one. So, season one starts off, like I said, I love the opening. It opens up with the original Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
We see the kick, and I wanted to ask, like, did they shoot that in different angles? Because that's it. We get a lot of different angles when he do the kick. Because when I watched it, it's only that one shot where it's them two right there, and we see the kick and he falls. They show like 3 different angles at a point in time. It's like
it could just be remastered unused footage because they switched it like 5 times, depending on how bad it comes out. But that's something that I also like about the show was obviously I had seen that, but when certain characters show up from sequels, they show you where they're from. That way you can be like, okay, I get it. And even though I hadn't seen 2 and 3 I didn't see 2 and 3 until season 4 because Terry Silver was coming into season 4, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Karate Kid 3. When so I didn't know Shozen, I didn't know, these people from parts 2 and 3, and when I saw them and they showed them in the show, I was like, oh, okay, like I know where they're from. I wasn't confused.
Yeah,
they'd be like, no, I need to watch the whole hour-and-a-half movie to understand where they're from. It's like, no, you don't.
See, to me, I think I meant to say this earlier when we did the open. I think this show kind of makes those movies a little bit better.
It does.
Like it kind of heightens those movies, even though 2 and 3 aren't as good as the first one. They feel like they have levity now with this show, with the returning characters. When we meet Chosen, and he's in season 3, right? Come back to season 3, 2.
Oh, okay. He's in 3.
He's in 2. Right. When he comes back and they reveal that he's there, and he meets up with Kimiko from number 2. He goes back to Okinawa. That's what it's called, right? Okinawa. He goes back there, and that's a reference to 2. I mean, they kind of do it good where they do each season kind of reference each movie. Like I think the first season was highly referenced part 1, and then like seasons 2 was like season 2 and 3 was like heavily on number 2, and then season 4 was heavily on 3 because Terry Silver came back. So I'm wondering what season 5 is gonna be. That's why everybody keeps saying, where is Hilary Swank? I think somebody said that in my live, like, where is Hilary Swank at? It's like, who knows? I mean, she has no ties to Daniel or Johnny. If I'm not mistaken, I think she only met Mr. Miyagi, right?
Yeah, she has the tie to Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So if they wanted to bring her in to fight with Daniel and Miyagi-Do, that would make Miyagi-Do's not even a thing anymore. But I
can tell you right now, Miyagi-Do is happening. I at this point, if Cobra Kai would have lost, you think Cobra Kai would have shut down? No. They would have still did what they did regardless of an agreement about them saying whoever loses has to shut down their dojos. Like there was no they didn't go to court and say, hey, if they lose, they have to shut down. No, like that's why he said, he's like, I have to do this. Will you help me? It's like he's gonna continue Miyagi though. There's no way he's stopping. My thing is, which we did get a little bit in season 4, was them teaming up, and I wanted that so bad going into the show that it happens, and I'm like, there's no way it's gonna work because these two guys have 2 different agendas, 2 different styles, and it's just, and you kind of get that with the first season. You see that they're both living 2 different lifestyles. I love that the first episode weighs heavy on Johnny. He's going down like a terrible spiral. His kid is nothing, like, or his kid is terrible as well. His baby mama's a no-show. She's an alcoholic, a drug user. And his life is all messed up. And then his car gets hit by Daniel's daughter and her friends. And I love the opening when he's driving around, he's doing all the different repairs and stuff like that to people's house. That's his job. The one girl, he literally said, stop bitching at me. She's like, what the fuck you call me? It's like, oh, I didn't call her a bitch. Why the fuck you fire me? I didn't say that. And he's driving, he sees the billboard of LaRusso's Auto. It is kind of foreshadowing that he's going to end up going there later to see Daniel. And I love that scene where he goes to the dealership and just Daniel's kind of giving him shit. He's like, yeah, you know, we had it in, and you know, you guys, I kicked him in his face, blah blah, you know, and it's like it's hilarious, but it's like kind of hardening because like Johnny's trying to avoid the entire situation because he know what's coming. Like, man, I'm about to get harassed by this fucking guy that kicked me in my fucking face, and I ain't nobody, and you know. But Daniel, to me, I don't understand why people don't like him. Daniel has the right to be upset with everything he dealt with. You don't know how traumatized. Like, if anybody's watching, if you guys were not cool, you guys know what it felt like to be bullied. That stuff can still carry on with you for the rest of your life. You know, and Daniel was bullied. You know, he was bullied a lot, and he did egg on a lot of the stuff. But in his eyes, he was just defending himself because of all the terrible shit he was dealing with as being the new kid in high school. And he felt like he didn't do nothing wrong because even the scene where Johnny is telling Miguel the story about what happened, he's telling it through his point of view and not looking at it through Daniel's point of view. That first scene in Karate Kid, he's just defending Allie because he looks like an asshole attacking Johnny like an asshole attacking Allie. Like that's all he's just doing. He just wanted to kind of cool down the situation. But yeah, I love that. And then we get in the second episode, we see Daniel's life. And he has the nice, you know, he has a daughter, son, nice, you know, nice family life. You know, he got that nice smoking hot wife and all that. And you know, he's living his life. He got a nice dealership, and then he drives up and see Cobra Kai, and here come the fucking flashes. Oh no, the storms start coming over. I love it because they play the music, like the nice little summer music, and then it just like stops right when he see the sign, like holy shit, what the fuck. And then like I'm still trying to figure out what made Johnny. I just watched it. I should know this. What the hell was the thing that made Johnny really start doing Cobra Kai? Was it when he go see Sid? Was his stepdad the one that kind of made him do it? I'm trying to think about what was it. It had to be something where he was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm about to just start back Cobra Kai. And then I love the fight he did with the guy that was bullying Miguel. I love that scene. I was kind of hyped. I'm like, let's go, okay, like let's get it.
That's great.
And then he ended up going to jail because he just beating up on a whole bunch of kids. He ends up going to jail, which is hilarious. But I said I love the opening. I love the ending, like where he's like tell him like I'm gonna be your sensei. He started, you know, he did Cobra Kai. And then we get another scene I loved was the Halloween dance where he dresses up as the skeleton. Like I just thought that was an awesome callback to the original because Johnny was dressed as a skeleton. And those callbacks I did love, and I love that Johnny kind of gets triggered by seeing him dressed that way. And obviously all Daniel's there do because he finds out his daughter has a boyfriend. He's trying to look, you know, always be watching and shit, which is understandable. It's the one scene I don't like, and I can understand why people didn't like the wife because she is doing a little bit like the scene where Daniel was going off about all the kids being there and stuff. It kind of pissed me off watching. Like he's not being irrational. He's upset because he comes home and his daughter has a whole bunch of friends over. Like, what the fuck? I'll be salty as fuck too. Like, but yeah, I feel like I'm going on. You can go ahead and say whatever you want to say, Tyler. I feel like I'm going on.
Nah, man. You know, I'm glad that you finally watched the show, and you know. You love it as much as you do. My biggest fear is you're gonna watch it. This is a bunch of teenage bullshit, bro.
And like I said,
it is, but
we get that. But I think it also helps that it's not just about the teenagers. It's more about the adults more than it is the teenagers because they're so heavily involved. Like Daniel's involved, Johnny's involved. Even when Kreese comes back, he is heavily involved. As you know, we get Daniel's wife really being involved. I thought she was just going to be a side character that we only saw a couple times. When no, it's about their marriage. It's about their family. It's about his family at the end of the day. You know?
I again, another character that I've always liked that apparently no one really did until season 4, which shocks me. Robbie. I've always really liked Robbie a lot. I like his I like the the banter with his dad. I like what they do with that. You know, it makes sense. And I like the whole thing with his mom. I really dig that a lot. And
Yeah, he has a fucked up
I
life.
I do like the fact that Robbie is learning Miyagi-Do stuff, and then Johnny finds out, and he's like, "Oh," and they were just starting to be like cool again.
Yeah.
And then Johnny finds out, he's like, "The fuck is this shit?" And then immediately, he's like, "Oh, fuck this shit! You're in cahoots with my son. The fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And then he thinks that he's doing it out of spite, and it's like, no, it's just
he didn't even know.
Yeah,
I love that scene where he finds out that he's Johnny's son. He gets upset, like, you lied to me this whole time. You basically did this to con me, right? Like, you did this to get back at your father. Like, that's kind of messed up. And when it was revealed that he was doing that, at that point I didn't like Robbie. I'm like, oh, you're just doing this to spite your dad. I understand your dad's an asshole, but at the end of the day, this show is all about, there's miscommunication with every single character in this movie. It's so much miscommunication when it comes to relationships or father and son, daughter and father, all that shit. It kind of pisses me off a little bit. Like, all Robbie had to do was just go talk to his dad, but he wants to be an arrogant prick and just go to LaRusso's Auto and apply for a fucking job. Like, really? Like, okay, but you're a kid. I understand. You're like I said, he's a teenager. Like, and I loved all those sequences where he was learning to do the Miyagi-Do, like the scene where he's like waxing the cars. He's like, did you do the whole lot? And he does it, and he's like, man, I love this part. It's like, and then we get this scene where he's doing like, show me wax on, wax off. I'm like, this is awesome, bro. This is like a straight Karate Kid. When Robbie goes, whoa, I kind of wish Daniel would have said, I know, right? I kind of wish he would have said, like, yeah, I know, right? That shit raw, right? Because he had that same moment. Like, it's like, you think I'm just making you do chores, but I'm teaching you some techniques that you're gonna use.
But yeah, that kind of culminates into. And also, one big negative that I had with this show is Robbie and Sam. I don't like them as a couple at all.
No.
And this isn't Robbie's fault. It's Sam's fault. For the first, I would say 3 seasons, I did not like Samantha LaRusso at all. I'm sorry. I don't hate her the way AJ does. I don't know if he's watching it. AJ, shit, if he could fucking murder her, he would. But I don't want to say I downright hated her. There were in season 3, I didn't like her at all. But like, there were points where I'm like, okay. Like when they teased season 1 that she was gonna learn karate again, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, where she does the little flip move. Like, okay, now she's about to get in this too. To me, like I said, it's all about miscommunication. Like, I know we're on the first season. So Miguel gets with Sam, and Daniel kind of pressures her, saying, "I don't want you to affiliate with nobody in Cobra Kai." All right, fucks up that her boyfriend is in Cobra Kai, so she can't tell him that, oh, I'm dating somebody that's in Cobra Kai. So like, there's a scene where she's on on the laptop talking to him, and she kind of says, "Oh, it's just my lab partner." And I love this, because this is what we all would do. We get a look like, really? So you're gonna lie to your dad and not tell him who I am? And then it doesn't help that she gets in trouble and gets her phone taken away, so she can't text him and let her know, like, oh, I'm not ignoring you. I got my phone taken away. So it's all about communication, and it's kind of messed up because Miguel has a moment where he goes to their house and sees Robbie there, chatting it up with the family, looking like he's the guy that she brought over. Like, on the top of that, was like, you're supposed to be with me. I'm supposed to be there. And then they have a party, and then when this happened, I saw it coming. This is typical high school 101. Robbie comes to the house, makes an excuse for her to leave, and she's like, let's go to this party. And she says, my boyfriend is going to be very upset because I need to go see him. And he's like, oh, you got a boyfriend? I'm like, oh, here we go. Typical high school bullshit. And then so he's drunk at the party, And they pull up. It's like, oh, this is fucked up. And then it didn't help that they were holding hands when they were running down the hill. Like, oh my God, this nigga Miguel's about to be so pissed. And then he hits her. It's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Like I saw it coming. Like he's about to hit her, and then she's gonna be upset. And then that's basically the breakup happens. And then we get to the tournament, and I kind of love that he approaches Sam as like, just watch what I do to Robbie. Like, just watch what I do to Robbie. It's like, and he kind of does kick his ass, though. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga Miguel was a straight dog in this tournament. This nigga had a look on his face like, let's fucking go. Like,
yes,
this nigga was, hey,
this is probably my favorite version of Miguel in this season.
Yeah.
I love, in the tournament when he was just dogging everybody, I was like, I love it so much. And when he did the kick and Danny was like, this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. And he gives him a look like, hi, I took your move. You're upset. I loved it. I love the pacing of this first season because when it's the first season, they really can do anything they want, but they also have to establish new characters, new plots, where characters have been, and that's what the show really does very well. And they make the new characters likable. Like I said, I do like Sam. I do like her. Like I said, I just see her. She's just a teenage girl. Like, they're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna act dumb. And it's just, like I said, it's all about communication, but that's just the way life happens too, especially when we're a teenager. There's many times we not got a text message from a girl and be like, she's fucking ignoring me. What the fuck? So are you thinking she's talking to somebody else? That's why she's not hitting me up. So it's all, and I felt for Miguel. I did. I felt for him. Like, man, I know what you're going through, bro. But if we knew about having patience and just knowing how loud things go, it would have been better. But like I said, he's a hormonal teenager. He just wants to see his girlfriend. Like I said, I love the tournament. I love that Johnny had to fight to get into that. Like, I love that scene. I love that episode because Johnny is determined to do something to get Cobra Kai in All Valley. And then Miguel is going on a date. So that both of them have good determined goals. And I love when they come back and he says,
Who's the man?
Who's the man? He's like, are you the man? They're like, I'm the man. I freaking love that. Like, that's what I'm talking about right here. And
it's the character moments, man. I love when
I know what it is. It had to do something with Robbie. I think it was something with Robbie.
No,
I think Robbie
it was the I loved when his phone goes off and then it's some cheesy shit and he goes and Johnny goes, what the hell is that? He goes, it's my ringtone. He's like, get some Guns N' Roses on there. He goes, what's that? He goes, I'm gonna pretend you did not just say that. Because that's some shit I would say. But someone says, who's ACD? Somebody would be like, mother, what did you just say?
But then he comes back and he's playing the music. He's like, wait, is that? Yeah. You know, like I looked up Guns N' Roses and I went through a freaking 80s rock rabbit hole. Like, this shit is fucking dope. I'm like, that shit would happen though. Like, I think the one thing I give credit to is that Johnny is not a good person at the end of the day. Like, he's not, but he has moments where he can be a good person if you give him the right situation to do. Like, he's really good at being a sensei when it comes to, you know, teaching these kids karate. And that's what he's best at. And he knows that certain kids want to be strong. They want to be tough. And he's good at that. Daniel is the one that wants everything to be calm and cool and collected. And we're not going to strike. It's not about fighting. It's about, you know, defending and, you know, stuff like that. Or fighting when it matters, not just picking a fight. But I love the pacing of this first season. If I had to rate the season, it's a 4.5 out of 5. I wish Letterboxd would just give us the option to do it. They need to put this on Letterboxd, because if Squid Game can be on Letterboxd, I think this should be on Letterboxd.
Absolutely. The last thing before we go into season 2, I love how at the end of season 1 in the tournament, Robbie just goes in by himself. He's like, "Fuck y'all both, y'all both dirt. Like I'm just gonna do this shit myself."
But then you get the moment. It's kind of like the Karate Kid moment where you know, Robbie gets hurt and Daniel you know, comes to him and say, you're doing pretty good. And then you have the lady come out and he's like, you know, he has this sound like Daniel Russo's gonna coach. Daniel Russo's gonna coach, and it's like, oh, it's just like the first movie where it's like Daniel Russo's gonna fight. It's like, oh, like that's a nice little callback. I like that.
But then again, this goes back to my favorite characters being in Cobra Kai, because when that happened, I was like, yeah, it's cool, but I want Miguel to fucking kick your ass.
You want him to win, yeah. You want Miguel to win. That
and when he does, I was like, good. Fuck
yeah,
you.
remember, I was telling you, I was like, this show is very hard because there's no, well, towards the season, I think season 3, season 4 kind of determines that Cobra Kai is back, but things happen. We'll get into later, but this show has a good thing where you want both characters to succeed. There's not a good or bad. There's not a protagonist and an antagonist. They're both. It's like what he says in the show. There's a lot of gray area between this whole entire situation because they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything wrong. Both sides are not right. Both sides are not wrong. So what Johnny is teaching these kids is not wrong. It's like he's teaching them to be fighters because they were being beaten on. Like,
and I do like at the end when Miguel, what was he hits him in his leg, right? He does an illegal move, and then he pulls Miguel aside. He's like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, he's like, "No," first he says, "No mercy." Like you want me to take him out, right? And then, but then it's like they didn't find out
back to season 2 though.
Yeah, I say that's when they don't know that that's his son. That's why he's acting that way. But I think
no, they knew at that point.
No, they didn't. They did.
I think that by the end, by the tournament, I think they knew.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because they talk about it. They talk about him not showing up at the tournament. You're right. You're right. But yeah, another character we didn't talk about that I want to talk about before we get into next season is Aisha. We didn't talk about Aisha. I think she's pretty funny, man. She's a cool character. I love that.
Yeah, she's cool. She
gets teased and then she's like, man, fuck that, I want to learn karate too. And she actually is pretty dope. Like the scene where she's like literally like, oh, this not till season 2. So I can't even talk about it. I'm gonna talk about the scene, the fight at the end. And she's like, oh, you want some of this, huh? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Like, look at
I like Aisha. I don't like what they do later. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah,
but yeah, I think it was a mistake doing what they did with her because she's a really cool character. But I think I feel like they did that's probably because of scheduling shit. But I think they also did that because there are a lot of characters, and a lot of characters do get sidelined that were prominent. Like I forgot his name, and it's gonna sound messed up, but the Asian guy who was picking on Miguel, he gets he's prominent in this season and in season 3, but I don't think he's really like that in season 2 or 4.
No,
like
he's not. He's not in season 2 at all. I don't think. If he is, he's like I say. Even in this season, he's shown up to be scared of Miguel. You know, because he beat his ass. So that's probably why he's
prominent in 3 because he joins Cobra Kai.
Right. So yeah, but. Like I said, if you had to rate the first season, what would you rate it?
5.
5. Yeah, I probably give it. I give it a 4.5 just for those certain reasons that the teenage bullshit, the predictability of that, it kind of dialed down the score. It's still it's a very high 4.5. I might watch it again and give it a 5. I was watching it, but it's
I don't think the first 2 seasons I think are perfect. Seasons 3 and 4 stumble a little bit for me. 4 not as much as 3. I still think 3 is the worst season, and we'll get it. It's not a bad season. There's not a bad season of the show yet, but I do have issues with what they did with season 3. But moving on to season 2, this is my favorite season of Cobra Kai. Most would say season 1. This is some said season 3. This is my favorite season. This was fucking awesome. There were so many moments where I was like, this is amazing. First of all, we get Tori in this season. Tori is one of my favorite characters. I know a lot of people don't like Tori. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I love Tori. Peyton List does a great job. And we also get the fucking Darth Vader of karate in this season.
We didn't talk about Kreese shows up at the end of season 1. Like he shows up at the end of season 1.
I was like, oh man. Oh man. But Kreese Kreese is among my top 5 characters in this show. He's just fucking incredible. I love Kreese so much. He doesn't even try to be a dick. He's just a natural dick, and I love it so much. It's just the line delivery and the performance is just incredible. I love John Kreese so much, and I love that turmoil in this season where Johnny brings in Kreese because he's like, yeah, maybe these kids need the extra push, and then you progress through the season, and then it's like Kreese took over Cobra Kai without even trying. He didn't even lift a finger.
Yeah, it's and to me that was predictable. I knew that was going to happen. But the way
it's still amazing.
I must say the way they do it though, because throughout the season he kicks them out at the end of the day. He say, "No, you got to go because I see what you're doing to these kids, and I don't want Cobra Kai to stand that way. I wanted to be better than what we were back in the 80s. It's not just about striking first and being an asshole. It's about being better. If we want to be a better fighter, we got to be better people, and that's what he was at least trying to convey." But it to me, like, Kreese is a massive manipulator, man. He gets into your mind and makes you think a certain way that really isn't that good. It's really not. And I agree. He's a great villain. He's a great, like I say, he's very intimidating without even being intimidating. He has that look that you could definitely tell he's an asshole. He's not a good guy. But you think his intentions are good, but at the end of the day, they're not. I love that he came back. I love the banter between him and Johnny. I love the clashiness of them two, certain scenes. I agree with you with Tori when she showed up. I said, "Here we go. Let's bring this badass into this show." The first scene when Miguel and Tori fights, I said, "Look, this is fucking awesome, bro."
I love her so much. She's just a badass, and my favorite episode probably, if it's not the finale, it's the episode where they go into the forest and they play Red versus Blue. That shit was awesome.
Yo, when Hawk and Miguel fight, bro.
Oh man, fantastic.
He walks up and says, "A worthy opponent. You're not gonna hold back." He said, "Nope." Like, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
This is awesome, man. That whole sequence, and then when Miguel kicks him, and Johnny's like, "What the fuck was that?" He's like, "Doing what you taught me." Right. And then he has that look of what I taught you or what he taught you.
What Kreese said, yeah, because at that point he was getting deep into them. I do love the training montage between these characters. I think we talked about Miyagi though. He started his own thing, and I love what Daniel is doing. Like, I love that they brought back Mr. Miyagi's his dojo. I love that they brought back the house, seeing the backyard and the cars. I was like, man, this is so great, man. This is exactly how this should be. This is like the perfect sequel. Like, and it's not really about him. Like, it's about Johnny at the end of the day. It's about Cobra Kai, and he's just like weaved back into it. And it's perfectly formatted. That's why I give credit to the show. It's like perfectly formatted, where, like you said, it makes you keep watching it. It ends is like, I gotta watch the next episode. And this season, I agree. If I had to rank it, it's definitely it's out of all four. It's definitely the best out of the four. Like, this season is so tight, so
even
great.
Even though I didn't like Sam and Robbie, and I still don't like them, I do like the episode where they have to balance the thingy. That was really cool.
Yeah, where they're like dancing. They're basically like dancing a little bit on there. I love he says that. He's like, if we were doing a dance battle, we definitely would win, because that's all you feel like we're doing. But then I love that we get the episode, which I love this episode too, where they're fighting in the court, the food court, where Hawk comes up and kind of try to attack Dimitri, and they have a little brawl in the food court. This show has great brawls. They really do.
Yeah.
And they show that the reason what he was teaching them, it works. They end up doing it in the food court, and it's pretty dope. I agree. I didn't like you see the relationship coming a mile away between Sam and Robbie, and I agree. I don't like it. It's just I don't know, man. I feel you. I'm just not feeling it, and maybe just at that time I didn't like Robbie. I feel like he's kind of stole Sam from Miguel. I'm like, you stole her, bro. Like
that food court fight. That was another example of me being like, I don't like you guys because Cobra Kai has my characters, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I'm seeing Hawk getting his ass kicked, like I understand I'm supposed to be like, yeah, he's a bully, but I'm like, that's my boy, bro.
Yeah,
I can't get behind that.
He gets his ass kicked by Robbie too. He tried to do like a high ground summer, like it's a fury punch, and like, bro, really, you don't have the high ground, bro. Like, that's
and then Sam, when Sam is kicking ass and shit, I'm like, bro, I just don't believe you, bro. You're so lame.
Yeah.
You're so lame, bro. Like it doesn't go until like season 4 where I'm like, oh, okay. But like in this season, I was like, really? And that goes to the finale when she beats Tori. I was like, really? I was going Cobra Kai. That whole we might as well get into it. That finale is some of the greatest shit I've ever witnessed.
I didn't want to get into that because of the reason why the finale happens, and it goes back to the relationship shit, which it's funny because Miguel is still heartbroken over Sam. He's been heartbroken this whole time. He actually he called her using Aisha's phone. He's making this dumbass little video, trying to send it to her or whatever. It's like, okay. And Tori kind of is that one that kind of snaps him out of it. And I did like their relationship, even though it felt like we didn't get that much of it. Like we only got quick glimpse. Like I love the montage of having Sam and Tori like both training at the same time when they only had like one altercation at that time, or was it two? No, it was twice because at the party or at the little country club party, Tori pushes her over the table, and then
I laughed my ass off when that happened, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's what you get.
And then at Tori's job, she kind of swoop kicks her and she falls. So it was a couple altercations where they have a rivalry. And I ain't gonna lie, I did love that episode. Both of them were, kicking ass, and they did the side by side. I'm like, oh yeah, this is dope. Let's get it. Girl power for sure. And I liked Miguel with Tori because she felt like she's the more outgoing one. Like she's not the innocent, and I'm sorry. Innocent girls are cool, but the one that feel like they can go ham. They the ones, bro. Like I can tell you right now, my fiance is not innocent. And I can tell you right now, she's not innocent. And it made me drawn to her because I'm like the innocent, cool one. She's the more outgoing one. So that's how I felt like Miguel and Tori was. Like Miguel's kind of the laid back one. He's not over the top, and she is. And to me, it kind of works.
I just like Tori more because she gets shit done, bro. What the hell is Sam do, bro? We gonna get into that in season 3, but there were points with Sam. I'm like, oh my god.
But like I said, there's a reason, bro. We'll get into season 3, but. So like I said, Tori and Miguel are a thing now. Somehow Robbie and Sam are a thing. They had a moment because Robbie has now moved into Daniel's house. Like somehow I guess his mom went to another fucking country without telling him. Fuck Robbie's mom at this point. I was like so pissed at this moment. Like, you're really about to leave him by himself with nothing? Like his lights get turned off. He has no food. Like he's literally living a terrible life, and Daniel takes him in, and I guess this is where the bond started between. It really was that they were training with each other for Miyagi though, and I saw it coming though. You see it coming a mile away, where like, okay, yeah, she's definitely feeling him, and he's been feeling her this whole time, because you tell in the first season he was kind of looking at her some type of way. And then, now they're a thing, and then we get the party scene where Tori and Sam battle out on the balance, to balance themselves while they're drinking to see who can, who's not drunk yet. And then the moment why I got upset, bro, I ain't gonna lie, the fucking teenage bullshit where Miguel approaches Sam, is like, "Are you okay?" No, it's not even that. Robbie, we didn't even talk about what this happened in the season. They destroy Miyagi-Do. They take the medal, and that same scene, Hawk like, okay, if you beat me, you can take the medal. And Miguel beats him and take the medal, and he gives it back to Robbie. And Robbie is such a dick and don't even want to fucking just say, "Hey, Miguel brought this over," just so he won't, get a leg up over him. Like you that insecure, bro.
I don't like Miyagi-Do, bro. Well, I like Daniel, but I don't like the other ones. Then get the fuck out of there. Like, and then Dimitri, this fucking guy, Jesus Christ! Listen, they redeemed Dimitri in season 4. Okay, bro. Dimitri in season 2.
Yeah, he's irritating. So irritating.
It's like, can I do contactless karate? It's like, what?
Yeah, that's not a thing, bro.
That's like going into the Mortal Kombat tournament and be like, oh, can I fight him without touching him? Can I blink and fatality?
Yeah.
Like,
it's hilarious because he, what's his name is doing all the moves and stuff, right? And he's like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not that flexible. I have dismembered limbs. I'm like, Dimitri, just shut the fuck up and just fucking learn. Like, dude, you want to learn karate this bad. But at this point in time, all his friends were learning karate. So he wanted to be a part of that club. He didn't want to be exiled out, but then he ended up being exiled out because he still didn't really want to learn. But I love that he get a kind of redemption at the end of this season finale. He does get a leg up over Hawk, which we'll talk about when we get to that part. But so we get to this party, and another thing which I hated was Miguel approaches Sam, was like, hey, are you doing okay? She's like, hey, wait. I know you brought the medal, and it very means that much to me. She trips, and they have a look. I'm like, oh, here we go. And they make out, and you see it. And I said it before it happened. I said, Tori is watching. And what happened? She sees them in the window out of all times. Like, oh, really? Like, really? Bruh? Like, come on, son. Like, you don't do that. You know that your girlfriend is at this party.
I ain't gonna lie. I was happy when that happened. When they showed that listen. When they showed that Tori was watching, I was like,
oh, you knew?
Get her ass back.
You knew like, oh, she want to fight her ass.
I was like, she's about to get the only smoke, bro. I was like, yes. That's the only reason why I liked it. I was like, man, she about to get the only smoke when she go back to school. And then they go back to school and they're like, oh, hey, it was nice to see you.
You know what's crazy? That this was all summer vacation. I love that the show, it's been like 4 years for each season, right? Or at least like 3.5, I think. Because I think each show been coming out beginning of each year. So yeah, it's been about 4 years since now. No, it's been longer than that. The show came out 2018?
No, like 2015.
Yeah, see, it's been longer than that. Okay. So, but in this show, it's only been like a year, like a year and a half, I think. I think these events only took place.
Oh, no, it was 2018. What the fuck?
Okay, I'm right. Okay. 2018 and 2022. So, yeah, it's been about four years since the show been a thing. And these characters are supposed to be the same age, which I think they've been shooting this. I think they've been shooting this back to back, if I'm not mistaken. I think I heard people say season 5 is already shot.
Yeah,
I think they're editing it right now, so we probably be getting that by the end of this year. So that's my guess. I would love to get it by Christmas. Give it to me now. Give it to me now, yo. But now we're talking about it. So it's funny. This is the first fucking day of school, and Sam is sitting in class all willy-nilly, hey, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, I think she was about to tell Robbie that she was about to break up with him right there. Like, I think she was about to break up with him before the bell rang. And Tori fucking doesn't even text Miguel or nothing and shows up at school. It's like, Sam, did she say her full name? Or she said Samantha LaRusso. I'm coming for you, bitch. And it's like,
I was like, let's go. She better get the holy smoke. Let's go. Bro, I was so hyped.
And then so they start brawling. It's hilarious. And then we get Miguel and Robbie both running like, oh shit, I gotta stop this. And it's like I said, it's again, it comes back to communication, because the way Miguel comes in and sees Robbie like holding Tori down, so he's thinking, oh, you hitting her. So he just runs up and just tackles him. It's like, oh shit, now it starts. And then this nigga Hawk come in and was like, let's go. It's on, bro. They started dogging niggas, bro. I'm like, this nigga, at this point in time, I'm like, this nigga Hawk is a badass. This nigga is a straight dog. I would not want to see this nigga in the fight. Because this nigga is a dog. And I think it does come back to him being bullied the whole time. He got all that anger built inside of him. So now he can take it out. And like I said, I love the moment where he like I said, that's the same the mall scene was the mall scene, and his girlfriend breaks up with him because he was like, I don't want to date a bully. Like I love that you're you, but I'm not gonna date a bully. And he gets upset, and you see him going to the back and just start wailing on the fucking mat. I'm like, that he got all that anger built inside of him from being a pussy his whole life. And now he's good at karate. He's like, I'm taking that on everybody, and just started dogging. Well, I love that the teacher see the other teacher get his ass kicked. He says, they don't pay me enough for this shit. Just walks away. I'm losing my mind. And not even that, bro. We just talking about this nigga Stingray.
Yo.
Comes in, was like, I got this, yo. And started gonna hit, go tap. Bro. Hawks gonna give him a high five and still start dogging niggas. Like, what the fuck is this?
Bro. Oh man, Stingray. That whole fight. The first time I watched it, I was like, is this happening right now? Bro, it's literally Mortal Kombat in a high school, bro. They're beating the shit out of each other, bro.
Throwing each other against lockers. I mean,
throwing each other through trophy cases. I'm like, bro, this is insane, bro.
It's to me, it's like, bro, like these niggas are fighting like they're assassins. Like, like they are like assassins out here fighting each other. And I loved every moment. I love that. I love the Robbie and Miguel fight. I love them fighting each other because you understand both of them have agendas against each other. It doesn't help that they both like the same girl.
The only part of that I don't like is when it's right before he kicks him off the railing when Miguel was like, she doesn't love you, she loves me. I'm like, oh my god, bro.
That's teenage bullshit. I thought that's that teenage bullshit. It's not even that. Robbie was like, this is for taking advantage of Sam. He's like, I would never.
I'm like, bro, shut up and just fight, bro. Yeah, and then the Tori and Sam stuff, I loved every second of it. It's gonna sound messed up. I don't give a shit. I don't like her character, so every time she was getting her ass kicked, I enjoyed that shit.
Talking about Sam.
And when Sam finally got a good kick and she kicked the shit out of her over the rail, I was like,
damn, it's fucked up because both Sam and Robbie kicked both of them over the fucking rail. And when that scene happened, bro, where
my heart shattered.
Miguel showed mercy. He let him go. And Robbie just got so pissed and started beating the shit out of him and kicked him over the rail, bro. My mouth was like, and it's funny because at this time, I think it was like 5:00 in the morning when I got to this scene. Like, it's early in the morning. And I think my girl woke up because she knew she had to go to work the next day. She had to go to work. Mm-hmm. So she's like, you still awake? I said, yeah, I've been up watching this show. And my mouth was on the fucking ground. I said, did they just fucking kill my favorite character? Are you serious right now? Like, this show got that much balls. And at that point, I was about to say this is one of the greatest shows ever made. Because shows don't do that, bro. They don't literally kill characters, like especially the main character on a show like this, because he's the Daniel character. He's the one that was the geek, and he's that nigga. Like, he really is. He's that nigga, and he fucking the way he hits his back on that fucking rail. I said, oh my god, it was fucking brutal. And it's just it's messed up because at the end of the day, he was trying to. I won't say he was trying to stop the fight, but his intention was to go there and try to not have the fight happen. And then ended up him being paralyzed. I'm sorry, spoiler. I know we're talking spoilers. He gets paralyzed, and it upset me because I'm like, hopefully this is not the end for him. Because I don't know. At this time, I didn't watch. I didn't know what happened in season 3. I didn't know he was able to stand up. I didn't know he was going to be fighting in the other seasons or season 4. I didn't know. So at that point, I'm like, damn, is he not going to be able to fight anymore? Yeah, is this really what this is leading to?
When season 3 was coming out, I tried avoiding spoilers for season 3, but when before I saw the finale for this, I saw a poster and he was in a wheelchair, and I was like, "What?" It's like, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah.
And then I saw the finale. I was like, "Oh wow!"
Yeah. Oh yeah, you see how he gets in the wheelchair? Yeah, it's fucked up.
And that leads to John Kreese taking over Cobra Kai and saying, "Skedaddle, bro."
Yeah, it's messed up because he kind of he makes his own. He makes the students turn on him because they feel bad that they lost. Like in real talk, they lost.
Yeah.
This nigga Dimitri literally hits him with a move and throws him into a trophy case. Like that was it for him. This Miguel got paralyzed. Tori got dogged at the end of the day. She had fucking metal spiked brass knuckles. She should have won that fight. Is that she was doing too much. She's talking to saying no mercy, doing the most when you could have just hit her. You don't have to talk. Just do it.
And also we didn't talk about our girl Allie. Johnny gets in touch with Allie. We haven't even touched on this. Johnny discovering technology is hilarious.
Yes. Oh yeah, we did
so
talk.
Funny
because he's trying to get a date. We didn't. Did they hook up in the season 2? Did Miguel's mom and Johnny hooked up first in the season?
Yes,
they hook up in the season, right? So he's been looking at Miguel's mom this whole time. Like I ain't gonna lie, I kind of fast forward the sequence. He has like a dream about his mom, where he's like doing like all this weird stuff with her or whatever. And I kind of fast forward because I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? Like, I'm like, he's dreaming. He's got to be dreaming. So he's been looking at her this whole time, and then it finally happens, which I did enjoy. I said, finally, like Johnny's got somebody because that's what he's missing. He's missing that other person. He really is because he's by himself. And it happens, and I'm like, yeah, there you go, Johnny. I was rooting for him, like, there you go, bro. Comedy peak when Johnny discovered 21st century. Yeah, it was hilarious because he's like, what's a Facebook? He like, what's a Facebook? He shows him what Facebook is, and he's trying to, get a date. He finds a dating app and started looking at all these weird, people. And then it's hilarious that one of the people that he was on a date with was the chick he was putting the TV up for that he called a bitch. And I was like, that's hilarious. But he made a good point that like back in the day, it wasn't about meeting on Facebook. It was about, doing the move where if you bumped into him, you felt bad. Oh, let me buy you a beer, and then y'all chat and then y'all get to know each other that way. It's funny because I actually met my fiance. Well, I met my fiance through work. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. She came to my job, and that's how I met my fiance. So I didn't even meet her through social media. So I kind of did the old school way. I loved it. It was hilarious when he's taking all the different photos and shit. It was great. And then because at this point in time, he just discovered Allie's Facebook because of Daniel. Daniel showed him Allie's Facebook that she's married and she's living a decent life in Denver and stuff like that. And he's I think he sends her a friend request, right? Like just randomly sends her a friend request. Okay. And I guess he's trying to impress her or whatever, show that he's living a decent life. And Miguel helps her out with that. And I did enjoy that. I love the father-son relationship between Miguel and Johnny. I don't know if we talked about that, but I love it. I love it. I love it, bro. I'm rooting for these two for sure to be that. And then now that he's dating his mom, like, yes, now he can get that. Obviously, we'll talk about how season 4 ends, but we'll get to that towards the end. Next, now we're going into season 3. Season 2 ends with he loses Cobra Kai. Fucking Miguel's in the fucking hospital, paralyzed. And
Ali sends him the message.
He accepts the friend request. He throws his phone, and he gets the notification that she accepts the fucking friend request.
When his phone went off, and it said that she sent, I was like, no fucking way they're bringing her into this shit, bro. I
said the same thing. And remember, I said to you, I was like, did they really bring Elizabeth Shue back? He's like, I have no comment. I said, oh, she's coming back. You just spoiled it. You could just say no, and I probably would have believed you. You said no comment. I said, oh yeah, she's coming back. Because it's only had to be for an episode. Like, it was only one episode. Well, 2. It was 2 episodes, right? Yeah, 2 episodes. So, and I loved it. So, but going into season 3, Johnny is going down another spiral again. He's drunk as fuck, going through it. Miguel's in the hospital, fraud. He's going literally to the hospital drunk and shit. And And yeah, he goes sees his friend that's a priest, kind of disrespects him in his own church. Like, I was like, come on, Johnny, you doing the
Was
most now.
did the episode with all the other Cobra Kai people happen in the last season or this season?
Yeah, that was season 2. That was in
Yeah,
season
we didn't
2.
talk about that, but that was a great episode, and I loved that so much.
I did, but to me it was like I ain't gonna lie. When I second watched it, I skipped it. I'm like, okay, I get the hints of this episode. His friend is dying, so they take one last hoorah. Angle, I did love the fight in the bar. I love that. That was dope. It's like, okay, yeah, all these guys still got it, even though at their old age and one of them is dying. Like, they still got it. And I did like that moment because Johnny still has friends at the end of the day. They're all at different points of their lives, but they still have that bond. And I did enjoy the episode on the first time watch. Now getting into season 2. Oh, we didn't talk about is the first episode where what's his name? Robbie gets arrested? Was that next episode?
It might be the first episode.
So Robbie is on a run for basically putting Miguel in the hospital, almost attempted murder at the end of the day. So I don't understand how he got out of juvie when he should have been in there because he almost killed Miguel. And if I was his mom, if I was Miguel's mom, I would be trying to keep his ass in juvie. You forced me trying to kill my son.
Maybe you pressing charges, shit.
But I mean, he can have a fallback because Miguel kind of started the fight. He kind of did start it with him. He didn't have to fucking.
Realistically, Tori started the fight.
Facts. Well, that's why she's in trouble as well. She's dealing with the same thing. She has a probation officer. You know, she has to get a job and all this shit. In which I do like that both of these characters are going through this, which kind of bring them together in this season. I do like season 3, but I do agree that season 2 is a little bit better than season 3.
My issue with season 3 is I think the pacing at times can be a little bit off, mainly when he goes to Okinawa. It's really cool when he goes to Okinawa, but it kind of feels like it slows down a lot. I feel like the first half of the season is really slow.
Yeah.
And the second half, it picks up. And there's a moment in the beginning of the season that makes me laugh every time. And I told Alex, we was watching the episode together. I was like, watch this shit, bro. So it's the part where forgot his name, but one of the Miyagi-Do kids is like, oh, they're fucking with me at work, and Sam is like, all right, let's go kick some ass, whatever. And she comes in and she's like, oh, we're not gonna let them bully us, blah 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 blah. Let's go. So they walk in, brings Dimitri and the other kid. They walk in and they turn out the lights and shit. And I'm over here like, ooh. Ooh. So then they start fighting and shit, and then my girl Tori shows up. She's like, all right, let's go. Where you at, bro? We gonna finish this shit right now, bro. So she walks in, and then do they fight at all there? No, right?
No, they don't fight because Sam is like kind of sits in the corner and cries like a little baby because she has PTSD, PTSD, yeah. And
I'm sitting there and I'm like, I get it, but at the end of the day, you started it, and I'm like, you're so full of shit, bro. And then I had to laugh. I was talking to Alex today about this, and I understand it to a certain extent, but at the same time, I gotta ask the question: how do you have PTSD when you won the fight? I don't. That's like if Superman had PTSD of Man of Steel and BVS.
Like I said, that it's not just about her winning the fight. Like I said, she literally was about to see her ex. She thought she saw her ex-boyfriend dead.
No, that part I get. That I'm okay with that. But the fact that she keeps she's so afraid of Tori, and that part that they keep showing with the brass knuckles, I'm like, okay, you still beat her. I don't get that. And then the scene that makes me laugh the most is when she's in the hospital and her mom comes and she's like, another fight again, and then she's like, they broke Dimitri's arm, they started a fight. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. You're so lame, bro. That was the first moment where I was like, bro, I don't like you, bro. I don't like you anymore, bro. because you're all talk. Like that's all you are, bro. You're like, oh yeah, we about to whoop Cobra Kai's ass. They are bullies, blah blah blah. They can't do this to us. And then you get the opportunity to finish it, and you don't do nothing. Like, bro, at least, bro, my man's Miguel was in a coma, and he probably would have done more than she did.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I agree.
Like,
I agree.
And it got to the point where I did not like these characters. So when Hawk broke Dimitri's arm, I was like, good.
I thought it was fun.
But I was like, cool.
I thought it was fucked up. I thought it was fucked up. I didn't have to go as far as they're going to literally physically harming somebody where they can't do anything. Like, at that point, it's like, and then a lot of people question the shows like, where are the police? Yeah. Because they are literally doing anything they want and no repercussions for any of their actions. The only people that got punished was Robbie and Tori. Everyone else get to do whatever the fuck they want
Stingray
to do.
Too, because Stingray,
he got in trouble.
But they do this. This is the season where they canceled karate entirely. Right? They were like, oh, the tournament's shut down. You guys can't do that no more. So I feel like that was them acknowledging it, even though at the end of the day, it's still like, bro, half these kids should be in fucking jail.
Yeah,
but you know that's the other thing that I don't like with this season is the Miyagi-Do kids. They're so fucking irritating and annoying. And granted, that's because again, my favorite characters are in Cobra Kai, and they kind of fixed that with the finale where. My characters other than Tori from Cobra Kai joined Miyagi-Do, so I'm like, well, okay, now I can root for Miyagi-Do because there's characters in there that I like now.
Yeah, obviously it started with, look who just popped in. Look who just popped in the stream, you guys. This nigga AJ reacts to.
Look at this geek, bro.
In the stream. Did you just get a haircut?
Like a week ago.
Okay, it looks like you got a haircut. Your hair looks shorter at the top. It looks shorter
Strike
at the top
hard.
a little bit.
No mercy.
No mercy. But yeah, we're talking about season 3, and
I can only be on here for like 10 minutes, but I want to pop in.
Yeah, just go ahead and talk to we only got like 3 people watching, but you go ahead and for the people that are watching on the replays, go ahead and give people your thoughts on the show and. Since you only keep here for that long,
Yeah, so I started watching the show when it was on like YouTube Red or like YouTube Premium or whatever. I watched the first season. It was cool. I liked it a lot, but I kind of stopped watching it for whatever reason, and Netflix picked it up, and I got back into it, and it was a wrap ever since, man. I love this show. Really enjoy it. Season 1, 2, 3. And 4 are awesome. I'm trying to think of, they're all pretty great.
That's the one thing I do love, that this show is consistent.
It's consistent, man.
It's so consistent. Like no seasons don't feel like it all flow. It could all be one season. Like they all flow like so well. It's not like I'm not compared to anything else like The Walking Dead or anything, because those shows are so tonally different. But like this show feels like it could be one long season. Like that's how it feels. And clearly characters look like they older than they usually do in the first season. It's funny. I just watched the first season and Miguel looks so young in that first episode. Bro.
He really does.
You look at like even going into season 4, even 3, like he just looks more like age than he did in that first season. No braces. Like he has no braces in his mouth. He looks more bulkier than he does in that first season. And I kind of love that. I ain't gonna lie, I love that. But yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, shout out to Netflix, man. I think Netflix kind of saved our lives. Yeah. Because where would we be without these 2 seasons of Cobra Kai? The other ones that we got. Not season 1 and 2. Like it's baffling to me that YouTube was like, nah, we're not gonna keep this show. Fuck this show. And it's probably the most popular show right now. Apparently, Peacemaker is the #1 show, but that's what I've been hearing. But
it's because it's a week-to-week show. Cobra Kai was just streaming.
But I would say Cobra Kai is the most popular show because it's getting people that don't even like or know of Karate Kid into this franchise.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Like I had never seen a single one, and I made it a mission to watch at least one because I wanted to watch the show.
Yeah.
Getting people into Karate Kid. That's awesome.
But it's like I said earlier, AJ, is that this show elevates those movies. It makes those movies really better. Mm-hmm. Like it really does, and it's a testament to how this is how you do a sequel to a franchise that takes place 30 years ago. This is kind of how you do it. You know, if you want to do callbacks, you do it, but you do it in you kind of do it the opposite, or you flip it, or you change it to a certain way that fits with the what time period that you're telling it. You know, and they do it very well with the show.
I think one thing that really helps is that it is a series. It's not a movie. Yeah. I think there's so many like distant sequel like movies that we get, and I think this show really benefits from the time that it takes to develop these characters. The arcs are amazing in this show. Yes. So, yeah, I think it definitely benefits from being a television series.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. Here's the situation. 100%. but yeah. So like it's season 3. Like I said, we got Sam dealing with her dumb thing. She's afraid of Tori and all this bullshit. And then we got Miguel, who is like, this is, I didn't like this. It feel like these 2 seasons, he's always upset about something, and it's kind of pissing me off. It's like, okay, I wish you were kind of just focused on getting better at karate, bro. Like, just focus on that, yo. And then him and Sam, you know, gets a bond back together, and they end up getting back together towards the end of the season. And I did love that they came up with the idea, like, we have to come together.
That was great when they brought the 2 dojos together. That was great.
Yeah, like we have to come together because at the end of the day, Cobra Kai is the one we have to fight. Like it comes down, 2 dojos are stronger than one. But I love that they knew that there's no way that Johnny and Daniel is gonna come together. There's no way that it's gonna work, and we see that happen in season 4. I love it. It's the ending of the season finale is where we get the moment where both of them come together and all the dojos are standing together. Is that the season finale? I ain't gonna lie, bro.
That's like the final shot.
I was like, let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah, same.
I was hyped as hell, bro. Like, and I was like, this is what I wanted. I wanted that from the beginning. Like, I wanted these 2 to not be enemies. I wanted them to finally come to a full center. And we get that in a lot of moments with just them 2 being together, like the scene where he gives him the car because his stupid ass cousin burns down his car, and he has to give him a car. They have a moment where they're driving. Yeah, where they're driving, and I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed when he picked the Challenger. I'm like, you fucking bitch, that's my car. I want that. I was jealous as hell. Like, you motherfucker. Of course, you picked the fucking Challenger. And I love they have a moment where they drive to his old apartment building, and they have a drink at the bar. I'm like, this is what I wanted. I want these characters to reconcile their differences and get over the bullshit because it's been over 30 years.
That's that arc that I was talking about, man. They have a tremendous arc for both of those characters. And a lot of the new characters do too.
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, Hawk. We're gonna get to Hawk when we talk about season 4. But well, he kind of gets his arc at the end of last season. No, it's this season because the house fight where he sees his best friend is basically about to get his ass, but he's like, man, fuck this shit. You are my best friend. I'm about to come fight with you. Then we get the moment where they're like back to back and they're kicking ass. I'm like, this is what's up, bro. This is fucking what's up.
Oh, I love that shit so much. But you know, Dimitri's shining moment doesn't come until the end. The rest of the season,
for Dimitri,
man,
they kind of they had you go through
Dimitri, it, bro. It was him and Sam. These 2, bro. Jesus,
I'm still kind of waiting for Sam.
You still waiting on Sam?
I'm still kind of waiting on Sam's arc.
Sam got me on 4. I'm like, all right, whatever. But Dimitri, Jesus,
I'm telling you, to me is when she's like I said. We talked about earlier. I like her better with Miguel. I don't like her with Robbie. I think her and Miguel has a better relationship then that's what makes her a better character. I kind of didn't like that AJ talked about after we watched it that Miguel feel like he's pushed more in the background in season 4. Season 4, he's not that much. And even him and Sam's relationship, like he comes home, is like, oh, I was out with Sam. Wouldn't we want to see that? Like, I feel like that would be important to see their relationship. But we
only get 10 episodes.
Right. So yeah, I understand. I understand. It's all about time. And then they only have a certain time limit for each episode. They got the longest episode is about 45 minutes. So
that's probably the finale.
Right.
Yeah, season 3. Really, the only thing I really loved in the beginning of season 3 was Johnny helping Miguel. I love when they go to the concert.
They go to that concert.
That's great. And
I love that relationship, man.
I love when he sets his foot on fire. He's like, "You were so distracted, you didn't see what I was doing." He goes, "What?" And he goes, "My foot is on fire."
Yeah, he was kind of pissed. He like, I didn't fucking feel it. Like he was kind of pissed that I couldn't do nothing about it. My whole fucking leg could have burnt up, and I couldn't do shit about it.
But other than that, I didn't really love the beginning, and I like the Cobra Kai stuff with Kreese. I could watch 6 hours of that man training Cobra Kai kids.
This is the stuff right here, like where I still did not like Robbie, man, because so he gets out of juvie, and first he goes to the Miyagi-Do, and he sees Miguel and Sam have a nice little touchy moment. And like, here go this teenage bullshit that I don't like. And it's like, okay, I understand. They're kids, they're teenagers. They're all having hormones going out the ringers. I did love the moment. I'm like, yes, this is what I want. I want these two characters to be together. That's what I want. But here comes Robbie, like, what the fuck? It was supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all upset. I'm like, bro, you were never in the picture, bro. I'm sorry. You were the rebound, bro. Just get over it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're the rebound, bro.
You're right.
So then he immediately goes to Cobra Kai. It's like, okay. Like, I predicted that with the question. I'm like, he's going to end up going there. Because Kreese approaches him like, I want you to join us. And he's like, I don't want to deal with none of this shit. I'm done with karate. And I'm like, Robbie, you're not done with karate. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you found something you're really good at. Like, when somebody found something you're really good at, you're never going to stop doing it. He goes to, at the end of the episode, he goes to Kreese. I'm like, oh, here we go. So now, and then he teaches them Miyagi-Do. So I really don't like you now, Robbie. Mm-hmm. I really don't like you, bro.
I can't be. I didn't like the whole thing with, and I guess they make this better in season 4, but I didn't like the whole thing with, I guess, Kenny's brother. How much he was beating the shit out of him. I was like, okay, I get it. And it was just like, yeah, and it just became so frequent. I'm like, oh my god, bro! Like, if you're gonna keep doing it, at least switch it up. It was literally the same thing. They tried to make me feel bad for him, but I was like, I can't. When you put yourself in the situation, like you could have not stopped fighting, but you went to the extra mile and put this dude in a coma. You deserve to be where you're at. You're not. You gotta deal with your consequences. That's life. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing where I gotta probably give these shows half of these stars, because I feel like none of these people deal with the consequences when they're literally physically harming people. And we're gonna get to the season finale, which is, to me, is like, I'm thinking of it as an adult. If some kids came in my house and destroyed my house, I'm calling the cops, bro. I don't give a fuck about no tournament or nothing. I gotta call the cops because I gotta install the fuck the tournament. I gotta pay for my fucking house to be fixed. Listen, we might as well jump to the finale, because there's nothing really major that happens in this season other than the finale.
Yeah.
When season 3? When Daniel goes to Okinawa?
We talked about that.
Is that well, I mean, he about to lose the dealership. And which was crazy. I'm like, damn, this is the first time Daniel's dealing with something this crazy. And I thought they was gonna go the full mile. He was gonna have to sell it, and he was gonna have to do something else. But no, he figured out a way, and he's keeping the dealership. But he goes over to Okinawa. And I did like that Kimiko actually worked for the company that he needed to impress or whatever, or something like that, to actually keep his dealership.
Yeah. It was kind of convenient, but I liked it too.
I liked him. So he kind of got what he wanted, because at the end of the day, he thought he lost. He thought, like, damn, I went here and I didn't do what I need to do. Now I'm here telling my wife, like, I got it, I'm handling it.
At the end of the day, you didn't. I guess this was a major moment when he read the letter from Mr. Miyagi. That was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
bro.
That was fantastic.
We didn't talk about Amanda approaching Tori at her job, getting her fired.
That was
That's
four.
season 4.
That was season 4?
Yeah.
No, season 3 is when she smacks the shit out of
You're
Kreese.
You're right. And
And
then
then
she gets the restraining order. Right. That's okay. So I was thinking, I'm like, damn, Tori, yeah, because she was talking about the fight, right, in the house.
Bro, you watched it all at once. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, because everything feels like it's all one. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but yeah. But let's go ahead and get into the season. Let's go ahead and get into the season.
I
got a peace out, but I'll catch y'all later.
All right, yo.
I do find it funny that
we didn't talk about Ali coming back.
Oh yeah, that was great. I love seeing Ali back. She looks great. And it was so wholesome. And I think you were saying it. If it was, I don't know if it was you or AJ that were making a big deal of, oh well, he's going out with my girl's mom. Why is he going out with Ali? It's like it's not that big of a deal though.
But
it's a friend date. It's not.
I agree, but to the point where they were literally about to kiss, it's like, no, you can't do that, bro. I'm sorry. Like, don't do this, dude. I mean,
but he knew not to.
He would have done because even he gets a moment where he goes to the party and he sees Daniel and Ali hug, and he gets a moment where he thinks about when he first saw them together. He was getting upset. It's like, yeah, but you just like. And that goes back to the theme of the episode is that you can't live in the past. You got to like let the past go and move to the future. And it to me is like both of these characters need this day to see that they're both in different paths in their lives, and they don't need to be together. Like it goes back to you, whoever you dated in high school is usually not the person you're gonna be with for the rest of your life. Yeah. Like that rarely happens. And I love that they touched on that. It's like,
the only instance where that has ever happened is in this show right here.
Oh, that 70s show? Yeah. You can even say that now in real life because Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, they're together in real life.
I didn't even know they were still together.
They're not together anymore?
I don't know.
I mean that's good. I mean they don't put their life out there, but I mean they are together. Well, they were together the last time I checked, which was dope. But but I loved her coming back. I love Elizabeth Shue coming back. I love when she first shows up, like, yeah, I got a plan. I got something I want to do today. It's like, oh, who knew she's gonna hit up Johnny and said, let's go have lunch. But it didn't help that he was hooking up with my boy's mom the day before when he checked the email, like, oh shit, like she just hit me back, said she wanted to meet up, like. But I love the day it calls back to the original again. Like they go back to the same place and have a nice little moment with them doing all the stuff at the little golf and play place, whatever it's called. And then the next episode, that's when the party happens, right? The party happens where this is season finale. They all go to the house. They all come to the house to finally come together and say we need to bring both those together.
Wasn't this supposed to be Christmas or Christmas Eve something?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It's before Christmas because the episode is called December 19th. That's what the episode is called, which is hilarious. Which I thought it was.
Merry Christmas! I broke half your house.
Yeah.
I do love, before we talk about this finale, I do love that the show is basically an R-rated show for a PG franchise.
It is though,
and you can't say it's not, because the only thing that's missing is nudity. They drop F-bombs. They curse up
blood.
A stone.
I mean, there's not that much blood. You would expect people to be getting punched as much. You would think you would see blood literally coming out of their noses as much as they get punched.
But nah, bro. When there's
kicked in the face.
Normally to get the PG-13, you get one F-bomb, right? They use it sparingly. It's like it's an R-rated.
That's the privilege of Netflix, because it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I guess it had to be on HBO to get all the nudity.
Yeah, but why would they? To me, it's like these are kids. I don't need to see naked teenagers because that's the only way we'll get if the teenagers are not. I know this. I'm trying to keep PG-13. They're having sex with each other, and I don't really want to see that because these are kids at the end of the day. So
not me on the other hand.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I got one more year. I'm 19. I got one more year.
Get out of here. Yeah, so getting into this finale, bro. When this was happening, bro, when I can't even think of the little kid's name. But
I don't know his name
the little one, the blonde hair with the glasses.
Yo, it's a kitty cat. You got a kitty cat. And then Sam is like, we don't have a cat. I was like, oh!
Yo, I had to rewind it. I rewind and said, what the fuck just happened? And he gets thrown through the window. I said, what the fuck is this? And then it's Cobra Kai coming out like, this is where it ends. And it's like I
was like, bro, they really about to do. I couldn't believe they were doing another brawl. I was like, bro, they're going to do this again?
Yes.
And they said, bro, Mortal Kombat in Daniel LaRusso's house, bro.
Yes. I'm not even going to lie. I was hoping that the fight was still going on with the parents
when they came back.
Up. I was hoping like this would be awesome if they literally walked in and see them all fighting in their house. That would have been hilarious.
You know, even though the finale is perfect to me, it would have been really crazy if the Daniel showed up and then the Cobra Kai kids had the balls to be like, "Oh, you're nothing, you're worthless," and then Daniel would have had to fight the kids.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking crazy, bro.
We probably already passed it, but we get a moment. We didn't talk about this where Robbie is trying to. That's in this season or that's season 2. We probably didn't. But Robbie was hanging out these two dudes that were like stealing a lot of shit.
Season
2, yeah. And he finds out that Miss Daniel's wife wallet is missing. Like, I know who took it, and it's his dudes he was hanging out with. And they have a moment where Daniel started beating the shit out of them. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. That would have been awesome. We would have got that in this season finale. I would have loved that. That would have been dope.
But so yeah, this fight, it's just perfect, bro. I love this fight so much. You know, it's fucking awesome. They do this one take thing, and it looks awesome. And the moment that most people were waiting for was. Well, we didn't even know we were going to get it this season. I didn't expect it. I expected Hawk to still be a dick going into season 4.
Yeah.
But then when this happened, I said, oh, shit. I was like, let's go.
Came over to the light side. He left the dark side and came to the light side. Because you got to think about at this point, like we had both the characters. Like, I love Hawk and I love Miguel, and they're on opposite sides. Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck? Like who am I supposed to be rooting for?
I go with. That's the same thing I go through.
And same with Tori. Like, I like Tori. Like, she's going through her demons. That's why she is the way she is. But I still like her as a character. So it's like, damn, she's in Cobra Kai. Like, I was hoping like we get a scene where I think this happens this season where he forms Eagle Fang. He tells the kids like, oh yeah, I want you guys to join us. And they all come to the park. But no, it's Kreese setting it all up just so he can try to bring them back to Cobra Kai. And I was just hoping like, damn, yeah, Tori and Hawk is going to join them. No, it's not that. It's a fucking ambush. I was kind of pissed. But then, like you said, that moment where Hawk just sees Dimitri getting his ass kicked, and he's like, man, fuck, I can't take this no more. And he has a moment where he just started dogging it, dude.
Which is, like, it's kind of hilarious when you think about it. It's like, oh yeah, Hawk is fine with beating the shit out of him, but when it's someone else, oh no. I can't have that.
Yeah. For sure.
It'd be like if it's Civil War, fucking Cap beats the shit out of Iron Man, no problem. But then if it was someone else, oh fuck, no, get off of him.
It's like no one can beat your ass but me. Nobody can beat your ass but me.
That's what it was like. But when it happens, I was like, oh my god. At that point, I was voting for Miyagi though. At that point, because the only other person I liked from Cobra Kai was Tori, and I'm like,
yeah,
listen, girl, you outnumbered, bro. I don't like Sam, but you outnumbered, bro. I'm sorry, it's gotta be. And Miguel finally gets his revenge on this fuckhead from the first season, and that was great.
Is that in this season? Yeah, it is in season 3. I love that moment. That's why I was watching that. So I was skimming through and I gotta watch this part because he I wish did he fight the Asian dude too?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Well, I was talking about the other guy. He beats the shit out of the fat kid. The other one that was making fun of him. There's the big kid he literally was punching the shit out of. Oh no, you're talking about in the fight, right?
Yeah.
I was talking about when they would join Cobra Kai. So they joined Cobra Kai. And
when the Asian guy, yeah.
Yeah, so they joined and Hawk get his moment where he literally beats the shit out of the fat kid because he was remember that they was making fun of him. I love that moment. But then in this moment he fights him. That's who it is. I thought it was Miguel. I kind of wish it was Miguel that fought him because it goes back to season 1. But we don't. Who does Miguel fight in this fight?
The Asian guy.
Right, Asian guy. That's okay. He did fight him. Okay, yeah, that's right. So I was right. But I ain't gonna lie. Well, I was expecting Robbie to come like out of the blue. Like I hear he gonna have his slow motion way where he come behind the corners like Miguel, let's fucking go.
Yo,
I was waiting on that because that's the fight I was waiting on because he put him in the coma. It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to beat your ass now that you almost made me my career over with.
I feel like that's kind of the end game of this show is them fighting. But I don't know though with the way season 4 ends with Robbie, but
yeah,
because I felt like that was gonna happen, but it didn't because of Hawk. But
I don't know. Like, let's go. I think because is there anything else that happens in this fight? Oh, we get the 101
with
Tori and Sam.
No, not that. Fuck that shit. That shit was worthless. I'm talking about when Daniel shows up to Kreese. And they fight, with Johnny too. When that was happening, I was like, "Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro!"
Yeah. I was at that moment. I was yelling like, "Let's go!" Like this is how we end this season. Like this is how this season is ending. I was all in. I'm like, I'm ready for season 4 now.
And I remember watching it, and I'm sitting there, and the fight ends, and there's like 20 minutes or it's like 15 minutes left in the episode. I was like, bro, what are they gonna do in the last 15 minutes of this episode? And I'm seeing the way it's going down. I'm like, bro, this is insane, bro. Yeah. And then the final shot of the season is them coming together. I was like, oh my god.
We get the moment where Robbie fights his dad and he knocks him out. Is that happened this season, right? That's this season, right? Yeah. I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But that's hilarious. At that point, I'm like that. I just probably didn't feel bad because I didn't like Robbie. I feel like Robbie he's being manipulated and he's in his own ways and not looking at the entire picture. He's only thinking about himself. And I understand because you've been going through all the stuff you've been going through with your dad, with your family, and all this stuff. I understand it's you dealing with a messed up situation, but like. You got to look at the whole picture and not just think about just yourself. But obviously we go into season 4 and it's some shit, bro. Season 4 is fucking awesome too, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Dope, we got Daniel and Johnny working together, learning each other's styles. I fucking love that, bro. When this nigga Johnny was putting this nigga Dane through the ring, and he was showing up. He like, let's go, LaRusso. I see you. Like, let's get it. I was in. And then it doesn't fucking happen. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was so pissed that they end up not working out and they end up doing their own thing. I was so mad, bro.
I mean, I kind of expected it because but I did like Sam embracing Eagle Fang. I was like, okay, finally, we're getting something.
Because at this point, she was enjoying learning it. Because it's always not good to strike first, but sometimes it's good to strike first. It's always good to strike first too, because sometimes they might not expect it from somebody that's not it doesn't strike first. Because I love in the fight where she uses Eagle Fang's strategy, and Tori was like, "Hold on, she's not using Miyagi though." Like, what the fuck? In the fight at the end, but I did like that. I think to me, Sam does get the leg up in this season. I agree with you. I do like her more in this season because she's just tired of always being told what to do. And I love that Johnny said that to her. Like, do you always do what your dad tells you what to do? Like, sometimes things don't go the way you want them to go. And that's just the way of life. And she sees that because she is privileged. I mean, at the end of the day, she's privileged as fuck. Our dad is fucking rich at this point. She's been living the life of luxury and not had the struggle. And now she's dealing with struggles within her own self. And I love that she's embracing that she has to become different than what her father wants her to be a better person. And that's even being with Miguel, because Miguel feels some type of way too with being with her. Like, man, I'm a fucking kid from fucking Rosita. Like, I got nothing compared to what she got. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. At that point, I'd be like, yeah, I might want to mess with Tori too, because shit, Daniel might get me into college. Shit, at this point, shit, if I be good to her daughter, he might hook me up with a job or something. Shit. Yeah.
That's another thing I like. That I liked seeing Daniel and Miguel.
It kind of fucks up that. I think that's what really makes Johnny goes through the wire, because he wanted that connection with Miguel. Mm-hmm. And he felt like Daniel was stealing it away, kind of like he did with his girl back in the 80s. I love that scene where he's tweeting and he's like, hold on, you're his only fucking follower. Who you think he's tweeting to? That was fucking hilarious. And then we get the fight where they both fight. And I love that they knock each other out for the last round. Like, they both hit each other. And
he's like, check the replay. He's like, what replay?
Like, no, he's like, now they go to a different angle. He's like, there is no different angle. It's like, I was only filming from this angle, you idiot. I love that. I love that they fought each other. I thought that was awesome, but I kind of hate it at the same time. Like, you guys just need to settle your differences and just work together. Like, what is this helping? At the end of the day, you guys gonna have to go against Cobra Kai separately. I
was confused about that. When that happened, I was like, how is the tournament gonna work? If they are they entering? I didn't think they were gonna enter separately, but I guess they did.
Yeah, they ended separately.
I was confused by that.
But then they changed the rules, though. They changed the rules with having the different divisions, which I don't know if I like that or not. Like, I thought it was cool that they was doing all that stuff, but I just felt like it gave both sides an opportunity to win, I guess. Like, they basically gave the opportunity for both of them to win, because Hawk won the end and then Tori won at the end. So they both won, but I think Cobra Kai got the big trophy. They got the one at the end where they, had the most points, and, they were the dominant dojo at the All Valley.
Let's talk about Kenny, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
For a good part of this season, I did not like Kenny at all. I was like, this is so stereotypical nonsense.
Well, I didn't like the son.
That's even worse.
I didn't like that they added him and made him the bully. And I understand why they did it, because they flipped it, because Daniel was the one that's being bullied. Now it's his son doing it.
When Kenny was doing all this stuff, first of all, I understand you're a little kid, whatever. If you're this stupid, you don't have good parents.
Talking about when
he gets catfished,
bruh. It's funny because you see it coming.
Yeah,
it's like,
I was watching it with you.
There's no way that you would believe that she would just automatically find you on there, bro. Like, there's no way.
It's ridiculous. Bro. And I did not like Kenny at all. I'm going to be brutally honest. I didn't like Kenny until they revealed that Sean was his brother from season 3. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, because that's how he's going to get into Cobra Kai. He's going to be like, hey, I know this kid that, I fucked him up. He fucked me up, and, I know what he does now. Right. But I was genuinely frustrated with Kenny in this season, because every instance we saw him fighting, he was getting his ass kicked, or he was running away from the fight. And there came a point towards the second half of the season where he was still training and still losing. I'm like, where is this leading to? Yeah. I don't understand. Like, I get it. When he's first learning, he's going to get his ass kicked. Hell, if we went through it with Miguel, obviously. But it got to a point where we were like 6, 7, 8 episodes in, and he's still losing. Yeah. And I'm like, where is this going? And that makes me even more angry when we get to the finale where he's just throwing down with these kids. I'm like, okay, either he learned fucking karate in 2 weeks, or these kids suck ass.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Because he basically made it all the way to the end.
And I say that because they don't show him fighting. They show him throw 2 or 3 punches And I'm expecting to believe, oh yeah, he knows karate. And that happens with a lot of characters in this season. They do it with Piper.
Most of the characters that join Cobra Kai that we never see until now.
With Piper, and the excuse they threw out with Piper was, she's a fighter. And
she was already athletic.
That's like saying like a UFC fighter can randomly walk into WWE and immediately wrestle like fucking The Rock.
Yeah.
Like that don't make any sense. And then the other girl, I don't even know who the fuck she is. They were just like, oh yeah, there's this random girl that she can join Cobra Kai or whatever. So then she joins Cobra Kai and makes it to the semifinals. I'm like, I haven't even seen you throw a punch.
You're talking about the one that lost to Tori that one time? I think there was two that lost to Tori. There was a darker chick that was that joint. You're talking about
the
her,
other girl that wasn't Piper. And then the only one that I was okay with was the girl that joins Eagle Fang, because she didn't make it far. And they even acknowledged it. They're like, oh, I've only been doing this for 6 weeks. I liked her a lot. And I like that she was using the math.
I'm so ready to see what she does in the next season, because she's so. And I love she says it, like when she joins, she's like, I don't make the same mistake twice. Like, I learned from my mistakes. So when I do it the second time, I'm going to be much better. So I'm ready to see what she does in this next season.
I liked her the most of the new characters because she acknowledges, like, I've only been doing this for 6 weeks. I know why I lost. I know I'm not perfect.
With Kenny, like, they threw throwaway lines. Like, we know that, well, they say that Robbie has been training Kenny off screen. That's what they threw a line, because I think he said, I'm ready to use my training to his foot.
I would love to see this.
Yeah.
It's like in Batman v Superman when Wonder Woman's like, oh, I've killed things from other worlds. And it's like, I want to see that.
Yeah. To me, it's about timing, though. Like, I don't think they had enough time to show all that, because I think this season shows that they have a lot of characters, a lot of subplots, a lot of things going on. You could have
taken out the amount of times that he got his ass kicked and inserted a couple scenes where he's finally learning how to do it, bro.
Yeah.
Because he gets his ass kicked so many times in this season.
But then he gets the moment where they talk about weakness, and he like acts like he knew that if I look like I'm hurt, that's a weakness to Robbie, and I could take him down that way, and he does it. I did like that. We didn't.
That was the best part of the season.
We didn't even talk about the one person that comes back, Terry Silver, bro.
Oh man! First of all, this
Silver, bro.
This might have been the greatest line in television history when Kreese is like, "Oh, you did all that crazy shit back in the day," and Terry Silver goes, bro, you do know I was hopped on cocaine the whole time while doing it, right? I screamed, bro. I said, no fucking way did they just say that, bro. Because it's hilarious, because I love Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3, but at the same time, I'm like, he's playing a cartoon. Yeah. Like, he's a cartoon character in that movie. Now that they acknowledge how stupid that movie is, it's hilarious.
He says, I was obsessed with a teenage boy. He says it like, I literally was going through all this shit, and I was chasing after this teenage boy for an amusement. Why the fuck would I do that? And it's hilarious, because going back to watch that movie, I'm like, this nigga is insane.
Well, I mean, was he a teenager? Because apparently now Ralph Macchio is older than him at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. That it's all about the actors we know are different ages, but we were supposed to believe that Ralph Macchio was fucking 18 years old when he wasn't. Well, at least 17, I think, in part 3 when he was 27. So, but in the first movie, he was 22 years old playing a 16-year-old kid. So we know how these things go. Fucking Tom Holland was not the age he was when he was playing fucking Peter Parker. It's just that they cast actors by their ability, not their ages. And if they look young enough, then they definitely will get the part easier. So that's just the whole fact with these movies. I ain't gonna lie, I always thought Ralph Macchio was a teenager when I first saw the movie. I did not expect him to be basically an adult. I love that Terry Silver came back. The moment where he just looks in the mirror and puts his hair into that ponytail, I said, "Oh shit, it is over." And when he comes back and he kind of has a moment where he doesn't want to do the mostest, and then he kind of flips and do want to do the mostest, and then Kreese is like, no, we don't want to do that. It's the one thing I did want to say is that people flip-flop a lot in this show.
They do.
And then that goes back to, like I said, it's a lot of manipulation, and there's a lot of things going in these people's heads where they flip-flop so much times, and it's so kind of like frustrating, but enjoying like it's amusing at the same time. Because I was expecting that while Hawk was upset when he basically got his whole identity destroyed, I was like, okay, Hawk is just not gonna do this anymore. Like, that's it for him. Like, he's done.
When they showed him with the purple hair, I texted AJ. I said, yo, my boy got purple hair. Let's go. And he sends me the emoji. He's like, about that. ... And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? 20 minutes later, I see them shave his head. I said, bro.
Yeah, they shaved.
Like, how you gonna do that to me, bro? You gonna have this man have my favorite color.
On top of that, he was getting the purple in the Hawk. So you notice he changes color of the Hawk on his back every time he changes hair, which is awesome. And that happens where I'm like, oh my God, are they really about to cut his hair, bro? And then when he showed up with the cut mohawk, I was like, everyone is looking like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? You see Miguel's face like, not my nigga. Like, you want to say like, not my nigga? Are you serious? But I love that. And then this right here made me like Dimitri.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk is having a moment. He's sitting in the basement. He's like upset. He's just upset. Like, bro, I'm done with karate. It's like ruined my life, blah, blah. And he's like, but he had a moment like, dude, like, watch this video. And they had like this stupid YouTube video with them making a dumb video or something like that. It's like, man, that's pretty cool. And then he's like, bro, like, at the end of the day, whether you're in Cobra Kai or you're whatever the fuck you're doing, you're still my best friend at the end of the day. Like, it does not gonna change anything was how I feel about you. And he's true, because he's been there the whole time, regardless of how many times he done beat his ass or tried to beat his ass. And I'm like, yo, Dimitri is raw, bro. Now, on top of that, we need to talk about he got the fucking girl that he been wanting to fucking get the whole time. I said, let's fucking go, Dimitri. Let's get it. It made me think about Randy when they asked Randy the question in Scream 2. He like, what would you change in movies? He like, I would let the geek get the girl. And what have you seen so far in all these properties? The fucking geek gets the girl, bro. And I'm like, let's get it, dude. It's like both of them get the girl. Because at the end of the season, Hawk gets Moon back. And I was like, let's go. Like, let's get it. All my niggas got they chicks, bro. Let's get it. Well, who knows what the fuck is going on with Miguel. But we'll talk about that when we talk about the season finale. But I love that what's his name got off his ass and joined Miyagi-Do. I love that. Like, cause like, oh yeah, he wants to do the right thing, but he knows the right way to do it. And he knew Miyagi-Do was it. But then I think it was a point on he really wasn't getting it. Was he not getting it at a point in time? Who? Hawk. Or was it that they wasn't accepting it because he didn't learn? So he always been an Eagle Fang? I thought he was a Miyagi-Do.
Hawk? No, he was always Cobra Kai.
No, I'm talking about at the end of in this season, in season 4.
No, he stood with Miyagi-Do. He didn't go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think he stood with Miyagi-Do. I don't think he went with Johnny.
Right. Well, who knows what the fuck is about to happen now in this season? Who knows cause I don't know if Johnny's really gonna do Eagle Fang anymore. But he has to, because why would he come back for this next season if he's not going to start another dojo and fucking kick ass? But yeah. What I was about to say? I was about to say something. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so season 4, we got all the dojos trying to work together in the beginning of the season, and it doesn't work out. Pisses me off. And then they start their own separate thing, and the rules change for the All Valley. And like I said, I don't really know if I like the changes, but it is what it is. We dealt with it, and it was pretty awesome with what they did at the All Valley tournament. And we knew, and I talked to you about it after I saw it. Like, did you see the ending coming when Hawk get the moment when he fights Robbie? And this fight is fucking awesome,
I didn't see like before it happened. Before Miguel got hurt, I didn't see that coming. But as soon as Miguel got hurt, I was like, oh, it's about to be Hawk and Robbie in the finals.
I was watching that with my fiance, that exact episode when Miguel gets hurt. And I was like, bro, and it ends. I said, are you sitting on the end of the episode like that? Are you fucking kidding me? I was kind of pissed. I'm like, are you serious? Is he done?
Yeah, when that happened, I was into it. I was like, man, Miguel and Hawk, man, those are my guys. And they getting it. And when he jumped, I said, oh, bro, my heart stopped, bro. Again, I was sick on my deathbed, bro, and my heart shattered, bro. And well, we didn't talk about Robbie and Kenny, their fight. It took me great pleasure in watching Kenny get his ass kicked.
Yeah, it
was hilarious though when he did that. Man just kicked him straight in his dome piece. Like, boom! I was like,
bruh. And it's funny, this nigga Robbie like the fucking Terminator. And he's looking at him like just stone faced, like, bro. At this point, no mercy.
Robbie in this season was a fucking monster, bro. I loved Robbie in this season, bro.
He's an asshole, bro.
How was he an asshole in this season?
Bro, just for joining Cobra Kai, bro. The fuck?
I love that
motherfucker.
Shit, I was eating that shit up, bro. I loved it. I loved Robbie.
Like I said, I didn't like that they got that him and Tori got together. It's like, man, fuck this shit, bro. Like this too.
I'll agree. I didn't like that.
It's too predictable. I saw that coming a mile away.
Though. And by the end of the season, they're not together, right?
Who knows, man? It's fucking teenage shit. We knew we know they hooked up. Because they hooked up after the junior prom. But who knows what's happening later because they don't never show affection after that. You know, they don't show anything.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're together.
Yeah, maybe that just might have just been one hookup. Who knows? But I saw it coming a mile away. Like, oh yeah, this was so predictable. And then let's just go ahead and get it straight to the All Valley tournament. Like you said, I did enjoy the fight between Robbie and Kenny. I did like the fight. It was so weird that I don't understand why they were fighting each other. I don't understand that.
It was because Kenny beat someone and they had to fill the slot. And I think that dojo got taken out. So they had to fill it with a Cobra Kai spot.
That to me, that didn't make sense. But it's like, okay, just give us an opportunity for these two to fight. And
I mean, that happens in sports, though.
Yeah, you're right. Especially in this type of moment. But then we, like I said, all the other fights, like when Piper was fighting, is like, how the fuck did you make it this far? But she ended up, because Sam fights her, right? Sam fights her and then beats her. Then Tori fights the other chick at in Eagle Fang, right?
Eagle Fang,
yeah. And then she loses, which I did enjoy her. I did like her. I did like the new girl that they invited to Eagle Fang. She is cool. That's why I'm so excited to see what she's gonna do in the next season. Because like I said, she seems so precise on certain things. I love Johnny was asking her, like, what are our chances to win? He's like, it's this many chances. Or she's using mathematical problems. I fucking loved it. And then so we get down to the wire, and like you said, we get to the fight between Robbie. It's Robbie and Miguel, right?
No, it's Hawk and Miguel.
No, I'm talking about because they do fight each other, right?
Robbie and Miguel never fought. That's what I said earlier.
Oh yeah, because that's where he gets hurt. He gets hurt when he fights Hawk. Wow, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. And then he hurts himself. Damn, I was so upset when he hurt himself. I thought he was not gonna be able to walk anymore. I ain't gonna lie. So we get to the final episode, and did you like that he did not come out? I wanted to ask you that. Did you like that he did not come out?
I wasn't mad about it because I knew where it was going with Hawk. So when that happened, I was kind of wanting Miguel not to come out because I knew that if Hawk fought Robbie, he was gonna win and they were gonna redeem his character. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I was like, okay, but at the same, like looking back at how it ends, it's like it's a little strange.
But to me, it's another nod to the original, where they flip it, and remember, like Daniel came back to fight. It's like no. And there's a reason why he didn't come back, because he says it to Sam. He's like, I felt like I wasn't fighting for me anymore. I felt like I was fighting for other reasons. Mm-hmm. And I love that they have a little moment. And I'm upset that he was not there for Sam. I'm kind of upset at that, though. That he should have been there to root for her And then if he wanted to deal with his own demons, go deal with your own demons. Because at that point, he was only thinking about himself at that point. It's like you also got relationships with these other people and your friends. Like, at least be there for them if you don't want to fight. But he wasn't. And I was kind of upset about that. But then we get to the fight with Hawk and
No. Before that, we got probably my favorite moment of the whole season, and it's among my top 5 of the entire show. Forgot his name. LaRusso's fucking kid.
Yes, get his ass beat. He gets his ass beat by Kenny. He gets his ass beat. Yes. And
this was the only part that I liked Kenny.
Right, do you see what is his son's name? That's bad. We don't know his son's name. Maybe it just doesn't matter. But do you see his son doing Miyagi though?
I do, but I mean, they're gonna have to make him less annoying, bro.
I can see them doing it. I just think that he didn't have that.
I can see him doing it. I just don't know how much I'm gonna be invested if he's still this annoying little prick.
Yeah, I agree, but I think, oh man, I don't know. I did love the moment where I don't know if it was someone related to Daniel was evaluating in the fucking psychiatrist or whatever, which is actually Daniel Russo's daughter, which I just found out. And it's hilarious that she was like telling him all this stuff and she wasn't really writing this shit down. Like, give me this. It was something stupid. I did like that. I liked the mom more in this season.
The only scene that I really liked with their son was when he was trying to teach him wax on, wax off, and then he comes back and some other guy was doing
somebody to fucking do it. Like, bro, you like
that was hilarious.
At that point, I understood what was happening, and it's true. Is that the younger generation technology is teaching these kids these days. It's not about parenting. It's about what you have access, what your children have access to is what's teaching your kids. They have these little devices in their hand, and that's what they're learning from. And it's messed up because all you do is click a fucking button. He has somebody come do the job for him. It's like you're not even learning what the fuck is going on. Which I hope that it makes me want. I hope we do get that redemption for him though. That he's an asshole in this season, but he becomes a better person in the next season. That's what I'm hoping for him.
But this moment, he apologizes to Kenny, and I was like,
that's the thing too. He took the initiative to come to Kenny and say, "Yo, look, I'm sorry." You know, at the end of the day, you can tell he did not want to do it. He was in the moment where it's like, man, if I don't do it, my friends gonna think I'm a pussy. And I hope I don't get demonetized for using that word, but that's what it comes down to. He don't want to look bad in front of his friends, and I understand that, but. To me, I was saying, like, you need to find new friends if this is what your friends want to do for fun. Sure. Like, if your friends are assholes, you need to leave them alone and find a new group of friends. And I'm hoping that he gets that with Miyagi, though, which I think would be dope. So, I did love that part. Kenny was cool in that scene, too. But Robbie sees that.
And when Kenny was just so pissed because of the fight. And the first punch, I was like, yes. Yeah, and he's just boom. I'm like, bro, do not stop, bro. Keep beating the fuck out of this motherfucker, bro. But boom. I thought when Robbie showed up, I thought he was gonna go in with him, bro.
Because he finds out that he was the bully. He's like, that he's your bully.
When he looked at him, I was like, yo, they about to tag team this motherfucker.
But then he has a moment though where he's like, damn, like hold on, like. I did not teach you to become I did not teach you to become this. Like I taught you to defend yourself, not to just attack. Like that's not what this is about.
When he showed up, I was like, bro, they about to beat the shit out of this little kid and give LaRusso the scraps, bro.
Oh man, that would have been fucked up. That would have
been hilarious.
That would have been messed up.
That would have been so fucking funny. I would have been like, damn, bro. Like Robbie went there. But we got the moment at the end with Johnny. But then we get Robbie and Hawk. Oh my god, this was the greatest 10 minutes of television I've ever witnessed.
I love this fight. The blocking. They block so many times, bro. Yeah. Where it's like, damn, it was not a hit. And then it came down to the fucking wire where it was sudden death. And I guess Hawk must have ripped his ripped his gi.
Yeah.
And he like, all right, fuck it, I gotta take it off. And Hawk was like, oh, you taking off gis? You taking off gis? I can take my gi off too. And he showed the tattoo, like, let's go. I'm like, oh, this shit about to get
This
real.
is insane, bro. That fight was amazing. And when he finally won, I was like, yes. I was like, let's go. Yeah. But when that happened, I was like, oh, so I know who's winning the next fight.
Yes. Huh? Yeah. At that point, it was like, there's no way that Cobra Kai is not going to lose.
I thought if Robbie had won, I was like, okay, maybe Sam was gonna win. But at the same time, I was like, but I don't want that to happen because I don't really love her character. I liked her the most in this season, but at the same time, they were doing a whole redemption arc for Tori, and I was like, it would not make sense if she doesn't win.
Yeah, it comes down to that she like I said earlier, Sam has the privileged life, and Tori does not. She's out here struggling, working these different jobs and doing all this stuff to keep up afloat. She's basically an adult at this time, like, and she's still a kid. So for her to win this, it's a lot. It gives her more confidence at the end of the day, which I hope they with Robbie. We go towards the end of the season is that he goes to his dad and says, he's like, oh, yo, I'm tired of blaming you for all this stuff. And I'm hoping that this is a moment where they finally come together and they stop fighting each other, because we've been dealing with this same stuff over 4 seasons. At this point, it just gets repetitive. Can you guys just finally sit down and talk to each other and figure out what the fuck is going on in your lives? Because it's you guys need each other at the end of the day. Yeah, Miguel's always going to be there. But at the end of the day, this is your son. And he needs you in his life. And I'm hoping that in season 5, we get more of that. But yeah, when we find out that Terry Silver pays off the referee, I kind of got pissed at that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because at that point, it didn't mean anything. And hopefully Tori noticed that too, that
she did, because you saw.
Yeah. Right. But I'm saying, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't go, and he just doesn't go nowhere. Because usually stuff like that happens and they don't acknowledge it. I hope they do acknowledge it.
But I did like that. I forgot what they say, that like someone does something. Oh no, they like Terry Silver was telling her, "Oh, do this." She's not gonna give a fuck because it doesn't matter. And I was like, "Why did he say that?" And then you saw the conflict with Kreese too, because Kreese also has that connection with Tori too. Yeah, and I really liked that. And
not even that, he thought about when he told Johnny to do the thing. Like, man, I don't want to do that because we don't need to cheat. That's what he's not. We don't need to cheat to beat her. Or you don't need to cheat to win. I did love the moments that Sam was getting where she was getting at him. Like, and I love that Johnny. We didn't talk about Johnny and Daniel coming together at the end of the day to coach Sam, which I did love that. Now, okay, we get the moment with them working together, even though it's at the end. It didn't turn out to be okay because she lost, which was okay, because to me that's more of her learning from losing. You know, sometimes it's not always about winning. You know, sometimes
I didn't really feel anything when it happened. I was like, okay, because at that point I was like, it's really predictable, and I was just waiting for it to happen. And you know that kind of just that comes with it. But I was like, I wish it was a little bit more like the way I felt with Robbie and Hawk. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. That was coming down to the fucking wire. It was crazy.
Yeah, like my heart was pounding during that fight when Tori and Sam were fighting. I was like, it was a good fight, but I knew who was gonna win from the word go.
Right.
You know, I'm glad Tori got her victory, but I was like, I wish I was a little bit more invested. Right. The only moment from that I really liked was when she kept asking Johnny and Daniel, like, "Oh, what do I do?" And Daniel was like, "Just do what you want."
Yeah. But so we end all that. Like I said, we find out Terry Silver fucking paid the referee to win, but it's okay. They're talking about franchising Cobra Kai, having a whole bunch of Cobra Kais all over the fucking city, and we didn't even talk about that Terry Silver beat the fuck out of Stingray, and he's in the hospital. And so they're sitting down having.
Oh my god, the moment where at the party where he beats the shit out of that neighbor, that shit was hilarious, bro.
That was fucking hilarious.
Was so fucking funny. I was like, bro, this dude is like 12, bro, in a 35-year-old man's body.
Yeah, right.
But you felt bad for him because Terry Silver was never there. I feel like if he talked to Kreese, well, no, because he walks in and Kreese is there, and he's like, "Oh, get the fuck out."
Yeah, right.
But
So
that scene kind of made no sense to me because in season 2, when he wins that red versus blue fight, you saw that Kreese looked at him and he was like, "Oh, you're good. I like you." I don't know why they didn't really.
I think he did. I don't think he ever took him seriously. I don't think he rarely took that.
But I don't know, that episode to me showed like, oh, Kreese kind of he sees something in him, but they didn't really do anything with it.
There's no way he'll be able to be in the tournament though, because he's not under 18.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is the point of him being there?
But I wish that they would have said that rather than, oh, you're not good enough, get the fuck out.
Yeah. It was more intimidation. It was more of an intimidation thing than anything.
But then
Terry Silver beat the fuck out of him. And they're sitting down.
I thought he killed him when
me too.
I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Because the episode just ends with him wailing on him. I was like, damn, like, are they gonna kill somebody in this season, in this show?
Right.
That's what I'm waiting for. Someone I feel like is gonna die soon.
We'll see.
I don't know whether it's gonna be a kid, because I don't know if they got the balls to kill kids.
Nah, they don't got the balls to do that. This is not The Walking Dead. So we end all that, and we have Terry Silver and Kreese sitting down having a drink or whatever, talking about the victory, and they're talking about each other's weaknesses. And he says, "You know what? You're my weakness, bro." And the sirens show up, and I thought it was the other way around. I thought they were coming to get Terry Silver, but he ended up making Stingray say that it was John Kreese that fucking beat his ass. So now he's being arrested for attempted murder. It's like, this is freaking crazy. And now Terry Silver is going to be the head of Cobra Kai. He's going to be basically the main villain of next season. We'll see what happens with Kreese. Who knows if he's going to get out.
That is what I'm curious with. What is going to happen with Kreese? Because Daniel, they showed him going to Mr. Miyagi's grave, and then we see Shozen, and I was like, oh.
Yo, I said, these two are about to work together. Let's go. But then we get over on Johnny's side and we find out this nigga Miguel done fucking ran away to go see his father that doesn't know he fucking exists. It's like, oh my God.
When they were talking about his dad and she was like, oh, I gotta tell you something about Miguel's dad. I thought they were gonna reveal that it was someone's character. Like another Karate Kid character. Yeah. And then she was just like, oh, he doesn't know he exists. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Was it supposed to be like?
Yeah, this is gonna be weird because Johnny says he's gonna go get him, and it's like, man, how the fuck is this gonna play out? Like, that's why I know this is how the show is gonna start. I still have a
suspicion that it's gonna be like a big reveal who his father is.
Yeah,
like I don't whether it's gonna be a Karate Kid alumni or it's gonna be an actor we don't know.
Right. Yeah,
like I feel like it's gonna be something big.
Just have to wait and see, bro. But yeah, that's it. That's all the seasons of Cobra Kai. I thank you. Like I said, I thank you again, Tyler, for bringing joy into my life. Because I ain't gonna lie, I might have to go back and watch that scene, the house battle scene, bro. I might have to go back and watch the Hawk and Robbie fight. Those fucking fights, bro. Oh man, it makes you want to get up and start doing this karate shit, bro. That's what it make you feel like. It make you want to be doing this shit because these niggas out here ducking and dodging and oh my God, bro, these niggas are fucking assassins. They're assassins. But yeah, I mean, you got any final thoughts before we close it out?
No, man. So with season 3 when it ended, I was like, I'm excited, but I felt like it was kind of going a little bit too far. And this season felt like it had a reason for being there, and I am a little bit worried about season 5 because, I kind of feel like Cobra Kai winning was the end all be all. At the same, like when you really think about it, because like, oh, they finally won, but at the same time, they could have just ended it. That ended the entire show with Miyagi winning.
Yeah, and that's what I thought because at this point, it's like, okay, 5 seasons. How much more story do you guys have to tell? I feel like a lot of people's arcs were realized at the end of this show.
Yeah, I feel like the only really big things we're going into with season 5 is Miguel, Johnny, and his dad, and then the stuff with Daniel and Chosen, and
I mean,
Grace Over.
I said I'm a well, Crease too, Crease's stuff, and then also like I'm very intrigued to see where Robbie is at this point, like, cause is he gonna be with Cobra Kai or not? Like that's what I'm ready to see. Is like, are you gonna be an Eagle Fang? Or are you gonna be where the fuck are you gonna be?
I kind of feel like they're gonna pull the bullshit again, because he's gonna find out, oh, he went to Mexico to help Miguel. He's gonna be like, oh, fuck this shit, because
Yeah, this is irritating.
he don't care about me. But I don't know though, because they did have that moment at the end of the season, so I kind of feel like he's over it.
Yeah, who knows? Well,
I don't know, man. I am a little bit worried for this next season of like it, because there's no tournament. It's just Cobra Kai. It's like, what are they gonna do? You know?
Was that the way you see? I'm telling you, when those trailers come out, you'll be seeing reactions for them. Whenever the trailer come out for season 5, I'm doing reactions that we're talking about it.
You're gonna see us in a year's time sitting here talking about season 5.
Yep, which is dope. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all our final thoughts. I enjoyed talking this with you, Tyler. You know, we're gonna talk more about it off camera. It's about time for us to clock out. Like I said, if you guys are not following Mind of a Nerd on Instagram, do it now, please, and go like all his stuff. Go read his reviews. He has really great detail with reviews. If he's doing spoilers, he will definitely let you know if he's doing spoilers. Just go ahead and check out his content, bro. He has really great reviews, bro. And I will put the link to both his Instagram and his YouTube. He's been doing a couple collection videos and stuff like that on his channel. You got any more upcoming stuff on your YouTube channel, or you kind of like laying off of it?
I was gonna do the Disney live action remakes ranked, but I don't know. I feel like
I don't see you doing that.
I feel like LaRusso's kid at this point with the amount of garbage I've watched with these Disney live action remakes. I don't know. Beauty and the Beast was a breath of fresh air, but at this point, I think that's the last one. Yeah. If you guys have been following me on my Instagram, you know what I've been going through. These Disney live action remakes suck ass. On my Instagram, I've been reviewing this week because we were supposed to go see Morbius this weekend, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's sad because we were supposed to do Morbius for.
We were gonna do Nerd Talk Sunday, man.
Yeah, it's not.
But in the vein of that, I've been reviewing a couple vampire-esque movies. I reviewed From Dusk Till Dawn on last week, and this week I reviewed the first 2 Underworld movies, and tomorrow we'll be reviewing the third one. I only reviewed the first 3 because those are the only ones really worth talking about. 4 is 5 is garbage, but. Yeah, man. If you guys are fans of Underworld, or you guys want to see, I'm mainly reviewing them because I bought that thing. Yeah,
the Underworld set.
That thing right there. Yep. And I spent a good chunk of change on it, and I wanted to make it worth it. So I reviewed the first 3 Underworld movies. It's a good franchise, you know.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and check out his content. He has great reviews. Like I said, if you guys are not new to the channel, just go ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe for more live streams, more watch-alongs, more reviews, more Blu-ray content. All that stuff will be coming to the channel in the near future. Hope you guys are ready for that as well. And we're on this one, you guys. Peace out.